I had my microphone muted. I'm smart. But yeah, I just realized I said a bunch of stuff that you guys didn't hear. So anyway, I just had to get some stuff set up and things. So now we're all set up. I actually got ready for this stream in 30 minutes. I built the entire stream in 30 minutes, which was fun while eating. Hopefully you can hear me now though. But you guys are gonna have to tell me how the audio sounds, because I can't really hear it. Is it still off? Ugh! Hang on. 1 second, I don't know if you can... Oh, good now? Good now? Okay, never mind. Everything's so delayed. That's the thing that's really frustrating about these things, is that it's all delayed. So all the stuff I see is just a little bit off. But anyway, since we're here, in this stream, we're going to be looking at some of the projects that I've done but never officially released, and we'll be looking at some other things that I'm currently working on, and I might even do some work on, here I'll show you guys what I've got so far. This little chameleon character that I'm working on, which if you're in the Discord channel you'll see him, and I took the color scheme from Yoshi, but I was working on him. I don't know what to do with him, but he's here. But yeah, so I'm still working on that guy. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at some stuff. Let's go ahead and look at some stuff. So I have all of my files stored on my E drive. You can see there is a crap ton of stuff. These are all my projects, more or less. Some of them are in this unfinished folder, which is where I put stuff that I didn't finish, nor am I going to finish. So let's just go ahead and go through these things. And I'm not bringing Sam's charger to lunch tomorrow because Sam's a turd. Anyway, so this is one thing I did. It was for a procedural material that I created it's for Procedural Pack 1, which was for when I had Patreon, but then I got rid of it. But in this I kind of tried to recreate the style of... What? Okay, well, apparently there's nothing in this. Is there anything in this one? Pretty please. There we go. So basically, all this scene is a 3D model of a 3D printer that I stole off the internet from I can't remember where. A lamp in the background and a thing in a window, and then this little dude. And I took a really long time to try and develop a PBR shader, or sorry, not a PBR shader, a procedural texture that would work on this. I can't remember exactly what I did to make it look nice, but here, let's go and if this will switch into rendered mode. Come on. There we go. Okay, well apparently there's missing textures. So that's one of the things with a lot of these projects that I worked on. I don't have the files for them anymore. So is it the environment that's the issue? Oh yeah, it's the environment that was the issue. So there might be some missing files here and there and a bunch of bugs and stuff that might not be working well. But anyway, here's this little dude standing on something on a 3D printer stand. Let's see if I can actually do a little render. And this took so long to actually create the material for. A lot of it is, well, it depends solely on micro displacement. So it definitely took a while, but you can see that each individual, hopefully I'm not breaking up here. I know that sometimes happens. But you can see that pretty much every single thing is part of him, if that makes any sense. So we have each individual layer of whatchamacallit here. For what is it? Each individual layer of the 3D print there, and then it works its way all the way up. And this was a really fun challenge for me. There was a lot of other things I could have done with this, but having that procedural layering texture, I guess, was something that I thought was relatively interesting. So here, let's see, can I get the 3D print thing pulled up here? Oh yeah, so I made this procedural shader called the slicer, which basically just sliced things up and outputs it as displacement. And I think I just used various wave textures. Yeah, so I used mainly just a wave texture to do this. I ran it through color ramp and some math nodes, and used a noise texture to add some inconsistency and offsets to it, which was certainly an interesting project. So I guess, so it starts with just a sine wave that's been compressed, I guess, to the creases, and then uses some irregularities. So yeah, it was definitely interesting to do. And what was it here? So yeah, really, that was just my PBR shader subsurface scattering being run through this slicer node that I created. As someone who's used a 3D printer, you would never be able to print that guy without supports. The arms just can't handle like that. Yeah, that is one issue, is that you wouldn't be able to do that without supports. I'm no 3D printing guru. I've never 3D printed anything before, but I know enough about it to do stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I agree. That is one thing that I guess I could have improved with this scene. Part of the reason I never really finished it either is because I didn't know enough about it to make something accurate. But for what it's worth, it does kind of look like a 3D print. I want to see if I have like an actual render in here somewhere. No, I do not. Actually, no, I might have one on my, or part of my website. Hang on. RemingtonGraphics.net. I gotta log in. We'll see if I can get it up and running. Sorry, I'm doing this on my other monitor just because. Alright. Somewhere in here is where it should be. Have you ever tried the animation nodes add-on? I tried it very, very sparsely. I tried it, but I never really learned it, if that makes any sense. Here's something. I think this might be it. Yeah, so this is kind of what it looked like, I guess, in an actual rendered format, so you can see all the individual layers. I don't think this was the finalized version, but this is more or less what you could expect out of it from a thick object like this. Is there another one somewhere? Here's maybe this. But yeah, I never really learned it, so I don't really know too much about it. And there's another version of it. I'm not sure if this was anything specific, but yeah. You should really get a 3D printer. You can get a decent one for pretty cheap, and they're a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I've really wanted to get a 3D printer myself, but the issue is there are so many other things that I need to or want to spend my money on other than a 3D printer. Because I mean, for me, a 3D printer is just something to goof around with, and it's not really anything I could use in a proper fashion, if that makes any sense, except for maybe making a 3D printing tutorial for Blender. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just, I totally want one, but it's just not really smart for me to spend my money on that at the moment. Also, did you move your computer in your room, or are you somehow mirrored from the previous streams? I think I'm mirrored from my previous streams. Maybe, because my computer hasn't moved. Let's see, can I actually mirror this to make it normal? Yes? Ha! There we go. Yeah, no, the issue is before I was using a webcam, and now I'm using the Kinect for video. So, which for some reason wasn't working up until just now. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at another project. Let's see here. I'm back. Welcome back. I'm going to get a 3D printer hopefully today. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Let's see. What else do we have here? The alien sculpt. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, this guy, the alien that looks like it's stoned. So this was my first attempt to draw something based on concept art. So I think, oh no, I don't have the image anymore. Actually, it might be on my Twitter. But basically what I did here is I drew up an alien a really long time ago, and I decided to try and 3D model it. Oh, there's Dave the dinosaur. I'm really proud of him. That's my first, like, somewhat realistic drawing. Let's see here. Can we find the image? But anyway, it was a really fun project for me to do because I'd never actually built anything from reference before. Well, I guess I built things from reference, but never from an actual image or drawing, I guess, which is what a lot of people sculpt from, especially some of the people that I look up to as artists. So it was certainly a learning experience, and since then I've done a lot with that, including like creating, what's it called, Bert. I kind of did a rough doodle of Bert in class, and the chameleon I showed at the very beginning of this stream was something I doodled in class as well, and there's a lot of other things that I'm looking to create as well based upon those, and I cannot seem to find it. We are just scrolling all the way back through my Twitter media feed. It's in here somewhere. Oh hey, there's a cool drawing of my eye. I didn't draw that, by the way. There he is. Okay, so this was the first. I just drew that up on my computer because I'd just gotten a drawing tablet. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll do this and we'll try and sculpt him. And then he ended up looking like he was stoned. And then I tried to texture paint him, but then Substance stopped working. And yeah, so this is what I started with, and this is what he became, which is actually relatively accurate. Hang on, save image as JPEG, not JPEG large. So if we drag this in here, it actually came out pretty dang close. And this was sculpting. So I think I did a base model and then I sculpted the whole thing. But yeah. Let's see here. Anything else in chat? Have you done a VFX tutorial series? I'm working on one, actually. It's called Film VFX. I have so far just a few of the videos done because I've been working so hard on getting the curriculum and data built. So far I have part 1 and 2 and 3 done. But it's a work in progress, that's for sure. But here, I'll give you guys a little. Oh man!
Welcome to part 2 of the VFX course. In this part, you'll be learning everything.
It's fancy. It's fancy. I will tell you that. And it's something I put a lot of effort into. So that'll hopefully be coming out sometime soon. How difficult do you think it would be to recreate the broke Star Destroyer from the desert scene from The Force Awakens? Ooh, that would be tough. I mean, if you had all the assets pre-prepared for you, so I don't know if you've ever heard of it, what is it, the term? Oh gosh, I just learned the term yesterday, and I already forgot it. It's in a quarter digital video, but it's basically taking a bunch of different parts and throwing them together into one big thing. It's something like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Hang on, we're gonna go to, hopefully Sam and Nico don't. Sam and Nico. Here's how you make a tank with VFX. Ren talks about it, I know.
The final shot of the video. Things, weapons, little video was we did something called kit bashing.
Kit bashing. There we go. Kit bashing. Oh, there we go. Everybody in chat just kit bashing. But yeah, so if you could kit bash one together based upon Star Wars elements, that would be it. I think it's funny. Everybody in chat's saying kit bashing, but because of the dumb delay. But yeah. So if you were to do that, it probably wouldn't be too hard if you were to have a lot of assets pre-prepared. But creating it from scratch would be pretty rough. It would definitely take a good amount of time. Let's see here. Nice alien. Do you have a video for sculpting for 3D? I do not. I'm not a really good sculptor. Well, I mean, I'm not bad at sculpting, but it's not really one of my strengths. So I don't really like to teach things I don't feel confident with, and sculpting is one of those things I don't really feel too confident with. One of my friends though is Zacharias Reinhardt. If you guys don't know who he is, he's going to be releasing a sculpting tutorial, or sculpting course, I believe, I think in December. It looks awesome. If you guys don't know who Zacharias Reinhardt is, look him up on YouTube right now. He's a really talented guy. Was this your first ever sculpt or first concept art sculpt? This is my first concept art sculpt. My first ever sculpt was this guy, the albino. My feet are going numb. Which was, here, hang on, let me ignore the stuff in the background. This was my first ever sculpt, just the head. Focus on just the head because the body is just something I downloaded. But it's basically just a dude with a bunch of holes in his face. And that was actually one of my first live streams as well, was sculpting this guy. So yeah, that's my first sculpt ever. Let's see here. Wait, what channel was that? The VFX tank one? That's Sam and Nico. You know that shuttle? Yeah, I downloaded this shuttle from somewhere on the internet and never gave credit, because that's how I was a year ago. That was a A sad, sad boy. Oops, I didn't mean to close out of that. Well, oh well, we'll just have to go into the effects. All right, let's look at some other things I never released. Bert. Bert the human. This was my last live stream. Hang on. This is the progression of Bert. In case, for those of you who don't know, this is kind of how Bert came along as a character, and now that's what I finished with, and then I never touched him again. So yeah, and you can see his beautiful Bert the human name tag, hand calligraphied, if that's a term, by me, with a bunch of different random fonts. So yeah, there's Bert for you. Bert's a good alien. Okay, let's go on to some more things. Bulldozer, ooh, that one's a classic. Bulldozer's a classic. Dead by Daylight tree. I never really released this one. I did release it, but I never really went too far into depth with it. So this one was another sculpting project. This was kind of a comeback from sculpting, I guess. And this was inspired by the game Dead by Daylight. If you guys don't know what Dead by Daylight is, it's basically a game where there's a bunch of, oh hey, my mom is calling me. Hi mom, sorry I can't talk right now. In Dead by Daylight, basically, there's a bunch of survivors, and then there's a murderer. The murderer tries to kill the survivors try to activate a bunch of generators to escape, and it's kind of got a spooky vibe to it, which is basically what I made this off of. So it's just a spooky lantern hanging from a spooky tree at night, and I believe the final render is somewhere in here. Render 6. There we go. So this is kind of how the final render came out. So as opposed to being like a traditional lantern, I made it kind of like there was a glowing ball in there, just because I thought that was a little bit spookier, I guess. And this was my first actual nighttime render, which was very interesting to say the least. Some things that I would do with this if I were to go back and edit it again would be to add some more detail up in the sky here, because it's just kind of gray. And maybe add some plants down here. And this is supposed to be a river, but you can't really tell it's a river. It just looks like something, especially because I didn't know how to use Substance Painter at the time of making this. As you can see is the sand right here is the default sand material from Substance. So yeah. Yeah. And by the way, yes, this is the Pixel 2 XL. It's quality stuff. By the way, there's something really funny just happened. In the YouTube comments of my videos, I got a lot of weird comments today. Some guy commented, his name is Caribou, he commented on one of my videos, and he said, I must have said in the video, like, I read every comment or something, and he says, but did you read this comment though, right? He was quizzing me. I don't know if this will be able to expose properly. Yeah, it's not gonna expose. But he said, but did you read this comment though? Like, he's gonna catch me, and then I replied, yep, with a smiley face, and he's like, aw, snap, you legit, son. And that's true. I do read every single comment that comes through my YouTube channel. Because, oh yeah, that is you. Ha! You're famous. Congrats. But yeah, I do actually read every single comment. It all gets pushed straight to my phone. And yeah. Then I do stuff with it. So yeah, it's certainly interesting. Okay, let's go on to some other things. The DeLorean project was a fun one. I wonder if this was actually for a speech for a class that doesn't matter. I put a ton of effort in making this. I didn't, just for clarification, I didn't model the DeLorean. I just did the VFX thing, and I did a speech in my speech class on it. And it was just like, I blew everybody's minds, and I felt really good about myself, and it was cool. By the way, this is before the Cycles denoiser, so it's kind of noisy. But yeah, I released that on Instagram, I believe, but I never put it on Twitter or anything like that. What else do we have here that I never released? What's Gravity Ball? Gravity Ball. Oh, Gravity Ball. Never mind. I know what Gravity Ball is. This is Gravity Ball. Yeah, I didn't feel like hiding the camera trackers. I did that the night before it, so you know. There's Gravity Ball. Gravity Ball I just released recently though. Let's see here. What else? Message in a Bottle. This one was interesting. This one's an older render of mine. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold. But anyway, I did this for a competition on. Oh gosh, why is my thing so bright? My camera is super bright right now. Brightness, drop that down. Okay. Anyway, I did that for a. For a challenge on the Blender subreddit, I believe, is where it was, and it was supposed to like tell a depressing story was the objective or something. So I made this thing. It's really dark. I didn't know how to do night renders really that well. But basically what it is it's a bottle over here, and it says, "Dear stranger, we are on our way to paradise," with a few different things drawn on it, like it was a child's drawing, floating out in the middle of the ocean with a sunken ship behind it and Coast Guard helicopters up above. So this was a relatively depressing one to work. Put your flashlight, wait, put your phone flashlight and have it behind your face. I mean, I guess that would work. But the quality was kind of lacking because I didn't know much about shaders at the time. Nothing in here is PBR. It's all just kind of goofy. Like, this is the default glass shader on the bottle, and I didn't really know how to modify it correctly. But it was one of my first renders that I tried to pack as much story as I could into a single frame. And I think I did a good job with that. Just, "Dear stranger, we are on our way to paradise," and then seeing the background is it's interesting. It's interesting. I might actually come back and revisit this topic and try and retouch it with my skills. That would be an interesting project to do. I might actually do this in the stream if we get through my projects fast enough, which we are getting through them pretty fast because I don't have that many. So let's see. What else do we got here? The mushroom scene. Oh, the mushroom scene. This scene is what started my Blender career for real. Yeah, so this was the first actual render I ever did in Blender. I did a few goofy ones and like a few things that followed tutorials, and I made a bunch of intros, but this is the first one where I really felt like I did something that was mine. This was like my first original creation that I'd ever done in Blender, and I was so proud. I'm still proud of this, to be honest. It looks fake, but it is me. I actually really want to come back and redo this render with a couple things. So this is actually a very heavily edited version of this render. The original version had there's a lot of things in this render that aren't actually in the Blender file. For example, the edge up here, this glow, that's not actually in the render, that's all added in post. These birds over here are all added in post. This boat out here is added in post. This donkey right here is added in post, and so are these tools over here. And then I did a lot of color retouching along these because I didn't know what subsurface scattering was. So I actually hand painted in subsurface scattering on the leaves, which was time consuming, to say the least. But I took this render and I rendered it overnight, and it took forever. And here's a clay render of this scene, so you can see the things that are missing here, like the donkey's missing, and stuff like that. But this is here, where is it? Mushroom 3. So this was the actual original render. You can see that the colors are really bad, and then I spent a bunch of time correcting it to be what the final render came out as. And also this was like, what is it? I saved a progression of things here that I'm really happy about. Here, let's see here, where is it? I don't know. So this was like the original, and then I worked on it from there. So it was definitely interesting. Blender needs single scatter. What is single scatter? I am unfamiliar with that. I know you're a RenderMan master. By the way, can you tell me your Discord invite? Yeah, give me a second here to pull it up. General, create invite. Oh wait, actually there are already invites. Server settings. Where is invites? There we go. Invites. This one expires in 23 hours. This one, like, how do I? Can I not? Actually, I might have a copy to my clipboard. Here, just join that. Oh yeah, or you can check the description. Ha! I didn't even think about that. But yeah. So anyway, let's move on to some other things. It's getting kind of dark in this room because the sun is setting finally, so we're gonna bring some light into our room here. All right, Pet T-Rex. This was fun. This was fun. Oh, here, most render engines have a single scatter, which is a single passive SSS used for leaves or milk, etc., faster than full SSS. Huh. That's cool. When does your Cycles Node Editor Part 4 come out? I've been looking forward to it. Yeah, I got a little bit lazy, not gonna lie. Those are incredibly hard videos to make because they're very tedious for me. I like to be creative, and although they're very objective and I know they're helpful, I get carried away making them, and I zone out, and then I just stop working on them. So I'm hoping to get it done this weekend, Saturday, possibly, hopefully Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully it isn't too, or hopefully I don't like screw that up, but I'll try and do this Saturday. Hopefully it's not too big of a disappointment. Anyway, Pet T-Rex was one of my first VFX projects where I was walking. Oop. Stop talking, Grant. But anyway, it was this T-Rex that was in our house. Then he goes down and sniffs the floor, and then he walks away. So majestic. But it was the first time I tried using creating my own HDRIs, which we go over in Film VFX when it comes out. But there were a few things that this was a little bit wonky. Like, it just doesn't look real at all because I didn't know how to match color, and I didn't know how to make PBR materials again. So it kind of came out looking a little weird and desaturated, and you can see it doesn't really, the lighting's off. It's very off. But yeah, so we'll watch it one more time. We'll listen to myself talk as well.
So we got a new pet, and he's really adorable, but he's also kind of shy. So let me see if I can get him to come out. Here, little guy, come here. There he is. He's so adorable. I just give him a big hug, you know? I mean, wouldn't you?
So weird watching that. So weird. Alright, let's move on to another one. Pixel Dino. This one is actually from a tutorial I made a really long time ago. This is still a cool render. I'd want to come back and revisit this. But this is where I discovered voxels. And so you can see I made the trees out of voxels. I made the bus out of voxels using, I used a 3D model for all this, by the way, except for the trees. I made the trees and the grass. But I just thought it was cool. I made a really long tutorial on it. Hang on, let me drink some water because my throat's dry. Let's see here. Did some guy actually just stand at my window? That it might be my friends. Okay, I don't know if I should trust you guys or something, but my friends for the last however many streams have come up to my window and banged on the window as loud as they could to scare the crap out of me. So, yeah, that actually doesn't surprise me. So, if they just bang on the window and I spill this water all over myself, then, oh, there he is! I just saw him on the stream. Where is he? That close? That close? Come inside. Hang on, guys. Everybody in the stream is just like, there's a guy at your window. Let me introduce you to the Blaine. Hello. Alright, Blaine's not leaving because he has to go do a band thing, so.
Alright, see you, man.
Alright, see ya, man. Have a fun time at band stuff. But there you go. There's my friends for you. Last time I did a stream, it was my 20,000 subscribers stream, and they made me a cake, or cookie cake. They came over and made me a cookie cake. It was pretty great, not gonna lie. But anyway, oh, there's this. I forgot about that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Hey boo, I'm building my PC right now. Going to learn 3D. Oh. Okay. When I said hey boo, Google picked it up as I said okay Google. So yeah, it's picking it up again. That was funny. But anyway. I'm between Blender and C4D. Could you explain why I choose one over the other? Sorry for repeating the question. It's fine. I didn't see I saw the question, but I didn't get a chance to answer it. So anyway, so Blender and Cinema 4D. I prefer Blender over Cinema 4D because Cinema 4D has some limitations that Blender doesn't. There aren't as many people out there working with Cinema 4D and creating their own add-ons for Cinema 4D etc. Because it is a paid software. So there isn't quite as much, and not to mention that you also have to use usually a separate rendering engine such as Octane or something, whereas Blender comes with cycles built in, and cycles and Octane are more or less, in my opinion, in what I've done. I'm not, again, that skilled with Octane, but from what I've seen and from what I've done, Blender cycles can do just about everything that Octane can, maybe missing a few things here and there. But you know, it really comes down to personal preference. I prefer Blender because it's free, because everybody can use it, because there's a lot of learning resources available out there on the internet. And I recommend it to beginners because of that as well, because you don't want to pay money for a software that you end up not using. So if you do, I'd recommend Blender. However, it comes down to preference and what you are willing to learn and what you want to create. So either way, hopefully you choose one that tickles your fancy. That was a really weird way to state that. Did he make you that applesauce drink? No, that was another friend of mine, and my ex-girlfriend, who is evil. But yeah, anyway, Redshift is now the new renderer for 4D. I did hear that actually as well. I forgot about that. I know nothing about Redshift though, so I can't really speak on that. Sculptures. This was a project that I was going to do where I took a bunch of 3D models or photo scans of sculptures, and I put them in different scenes. So this one, I don't want to actually pull up the model, but this is of a little girl standing. It's a sculpture that somebody made of a little girl with a butterfly in her hand. And these are like real world sculptures, right? That have been uploaded to Sketchfab. So I did a bunch of these things. This was one of them that I thought was relatively interesting. It's a man kneeling with his hands bound behind his back, and it's supposed to be something. I think it was something with it was like, gosh, I don't remember. It was something with slavery, I think, is what the statue was about. And so I was trying to be creative and artsy and put it in a position, like in a CG scene where it was in a much more dire situation. But what it ended up coming out like is it looked like somebody committing suicide. So I never really released it because that's a sensitive topic to a lot of people, including myself. So it's something that I didn't really I wanted to avoid. I'm still going to show you guys what I had. But I just wanted you to understand the context before. This is not supposed to be anything about anybody killing themselves. This is supposed to be about a man bound and tied by somebody else on railroad tracks for whatever reason, right? So it's not anything like that. So here's the actual render. Oop. So with this, this is another one of my earlier projects as well. So I was first learning particle systems and stuff, and color grading and things like that. So the train here, see, it really does look like somebody's trying to kill themselves, which is not good. So yeah, that's again why I didn't release it. But I did download the train model, but I completely retextured it and redid it, except for the 4884, because I didn't understand UV unwrapping at the time. So all the textures on the train are procedural. The wood textures are just generated mapped, and all the stones are just, I don't even know what the stones are. But yeah, so then first render. So here we can kind of see the progression of what I did here. So first render, second render, and then the third render is kind of how that worked. And you can see that I didn't really understand the concept of optimizing my scene. So yeah, so that was that scene that I didn't release for reasons that it may be too sensitive for a lot of people. I was gonna do more, but I got bored with the project and just stopped. Spike trees. Somebody said, yeah, can you show us your very first complete beginner type of render? This was one of them. Flowers. So this is actually, I stole the idea off somebody on the internet and tried to create it myself. And this was one of the first renders I did, in cycles at least. If we want to go back and see my very first renders, you can see those on my YouTube channel actually, way back in the day. We're about to go back to a time in my life where I was obsessed with Minecraft. You guys are about to see some real good stuff here. Oh, surfing on Maui, TV mod, my first video. Oh, this was my first ever Blender tutorial. How to make a physics game. Oh, the old intro. The old intro. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. And when I used to call myself DJ Double Helix because I made music, and then I realized that was cringy. Oh, and then the first tutorial ever. There it is. There it is, people. But anyway, the first render I ever did, this was actually an intro for my friend Kyle. Oh, the annotations. Okay. Anyway, this is the first animation and render I ever did. Right here. And there you have it. Now, originally it was for my friend Kyle, so I had a playing card fall down because he wanted to do a Magic and Minecraft channel. So there's a playing card that flew down and landed right here. I guess you can't really see me pointing. It landed right down in this area and it's stuck in the ground. But since then, that has been lost because he deleted his channel because it was cringy, and I never really did. Oh, deceiving card trick. Some other things I did. The Smash intro. This is my start to YouTube fame right here. 22,000 views. Oh man. Just kidding, I'm not famous on YouTube, really. I'm well known, but not famous. There it is. Oh, that made me famous. Hardcore famous. Hey, thanks for the template. I'm going to use this for my cousin. You're welcome, Big Max Porter. But yeah. Yeah, that was good stuff. Anyway, those were some of my first renders. If you want to go back even further, actually, we can go to this. Remington 04. Here it is. The oldies. So, if you guys don't know what Scratch is, it's basically a place where you can program things and stuff like that. And this is actually where I got into intro making. This was the first intro I ever made, if this loads. Or actually, sorry, this is the second intro, but this is the better one. Oh, the sounds, the music. Hang on. Your title here. Okay, anyway, we can ignore that. Here's the first epic introduction. Oh god, that was probably loud. But anyway, yeah, it's just flames. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. For me it was. So, let's see here. Where were my first renders? It's somewhere in here. Here it is, Blender 3D images. I'm just gonna mute Chrome. So here, these are the very first renders I ever did. And this was in 2011? 2010 or 2011. So this I thought looked like a jet engine. And by the way, this is all sculpting done with modifiers. So, yeah, this was like a mushroom thing that I created. This. I still want to try and recreate some of these because they're so goofy looking. They were all done with modifiers. This was cool. This was actually really cool because this is where I use procedural textures. For the first time, I didn't even know what procedural textures were. I think that's it. Nope, one more. So, there we go. They were my very first renders. You just witnessed. Oh, there's another one. Okay, that's it. That's about it. So, yeah, those are my very first renders. So, now you know where I started and how far I've come since then. So let's see, what else do we have here? Star Wars Desert. Oh, this was from like. This was from a render I did a really long time ago. This was right before The Force Awakens came out, I think, or right after. One of the two. And I got so frustrated on the stream that I ended up rendering it and just taking pictures of Jar Jar Binks and one picture of Scrappy Doo and putting it over the image. So, this, my friends, is true artwork, and nothing else will be considered artwork unless it beats that. And I will tell you, nothing does. Nothing does. And so many people, I remember watching that stream, so many people, like, remember that. We called it the vape, I remember that. Yep, I watched that, your stream where your friends made you a cheese stick sandwich, yep. Yep. Oh, the memories. So many of you are such long-time viewers of my channel. It makes me happy. What else do we have here? Star Wars voxel. This one I released to Sketchfab. Oops. I actually took a Minecraft map and cheated. Because, yeah, I cheated in a competition for Blender. This is a Minecraft map off of a Minecraft server that I converted into Blender and then turned in saying I did the voxel art for it, and I'm ashamed of that, but it's the truth of what happened. And, yeah, nobody ever caught me. This is the first time I'm actually saying this, but, yeah, I was a crummy child at times. We'll just put it that way. But anyway, I did do a lot of this stuff, including the materials, the setup for the whole scene. I had to go through and manually retexture most of the things. So I guess I did do some other stuff, but you know, it is more or less just hijacked from a Minecraft server. Oh boy. Should we not be long-time subscribers? Time to unsub? Yeah, everybody unsubscribe. Just kidding, please don't. Yeah. Anyway, terrain balls. This was an interesting project. You've probably seen some of these if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram. Basically, I just took a bunch of wireframed icospheres, subdivided them a few times, then added another sphere inside and threw on some micro displacement, and then threw in a random image in the background that fit the scene. So I made a few things out of this. So this was one of them. I called this beach ball because it's, you know, on a beach. This one was called Eclipse Ball 2, and I like this one. This was actually for one of the introduction images for the Simplicity Challenge. Let's see here. The thing that I really liked about doing this is because these stars in the middle are actually just noise from the render, which I thought was interesting. So I set the samples really low and just rendered out that little tiny area. And then I masked out the outside and then just added this sun flare effect. And it made this really cool stylistic kind of thing using noise from the render. I rendered this with like 2 samples, not a joke. And here's another version. I did the same thing here, just low sample count on the outside and then black on the inside, and we got that. And I like this one significantly more. It actually kind of reminds me of that one Pink Floyd, the Pink Floyd logo, I think, where there's the prism or whatever. That one's one that I've shared a lot. This is just another one like the other one, and that's it with gold in it. This one was cool. I like this one. I shared this one on Instagram. So, I just did a freestyle render with this one, which is interesting. Let's see, sorry, are there any things in here? Dark Side of the Moon, yep, that's what it is. When is this going until? I have no idea. I just kind of stream, and I just go until I get bored, or I get tired, or I can't talk anymore. So, probably till one of those, which will maybe be another hour and a half, hopefully. The claw machine. This one's the one that I was working on, that I'm still working on. I guess I could give you guys a little update here. Render 4. So this is the first time anybody outside of my Discord channel is seeing this. So this is a mixture of a few things, and I'm trying to expand on this more at the moment. But I don't really know where to take it, because I want to put story behind it, but how are you supposed to put story behind a claw, picking up a lens, and then spinning it on a table? So yeah. Did I post the entire thing on Twitter, or just the claw? I'm pretty sure I just posted the claw in a single frame on Twitter. I might be wrong though. But yeah, anyway. If anybody has any bright ideas on how I could turn this into a story, and why this machine is spinning these glass lenses, that'll be greatly appreciated, because I have no idea, and I want to do something with this because it looks cool. It's got a cool aesthetic to it. So yeah, this is, again, something that I'm actually working on right now, and I'm hoping to experiment more with it as time goes on. So, and this is also the first time I've ever used separate scenes as well in the actual blend file. So if I open up the blend file here, oh, this was actually a scene, but basically I have a bunch of different scenes here. I have my asset scene, I have my laser time is what I called it. If you, William Osmond is what that's inspired from. If you guys don't know William Osmond, he's a beautiful engineer man on YouTube. But anyway, there's a bunch of other scenes like lens grab where the claw actually comes down to grab it, right? You can see the actual motions of the scene and stuff like that. But I did a bunch of different things, and these are just 2 things that I'm testing, maybe? I don't really know what to do with them though, so. The lenses could be used to focus a laser. They could be used to focus a laser. What I was planning on doing is taking like a laser, making it pop up on the side of the table and shine through the prism that's spinning, and using that to like somehow measure the quality of the lens or something. But then what is the lens for other than focusing a laser? Like it's confusing. It's hard to think of things. So here's the good stuff. The unfinished folder. Now I only think I have like 4 projects in here, because a lot of my unfinished projects I just delete because I have no interest in continuing with them. Yeah, so let's go ahead and explore. So there's a few things in here, most of which I have done nothing with for a very long time, except send the files to my Discord people if they wanted to do something with it, for which some of them did, I think. I think actually, Nathan did, MZXS. But anyway, Falcon 9, this one was a good one. I got bored of it, basically, is what happened with this render. So this is the Falcon 9 rocket from SpaceX. I did a very basic material on it, but I got bored of it, and I tried to do smoke sims, but I got frustrated with it, and it didn't come out too well. You did something, Nathan. You did something with one of my projects. I can't remember which one it was. Actually, you know what? It might have just been Bert that I'm thinking of, because you screwed around with Bert a lot, I think. Maybe. Yeah, you screwed around with Bert. I don't know. I'm confused. But anyway, this is... I didn't model the actual Falcon 9. I just kind of used it. I can't remember where I got it from, but it was existent somewhere. Oh no, the music stopped. Loop the music. Forever. Play. It's gonna play. I don't know. Anyway, but I got tired of doing the smoke simulations over and over and over, so I ended up quitting on it. It's definitely something I'm thinking about coming back to, because I did learn how to do smoke simulations right. So that might be a project I actually come back and finish. Meeseeks. Meeseeks is the Meeseeks box. So this is where I left off. I spent a lot of time creating the actual hand, and the idea is that he's like breaking out of the box. This is from Rick and Morty, by the way. So if you guys don't watch Rick and Morty, you probably aren't going to understand this. But I spent a lot of time creating like the mat this is sitting on, the box itself, the simulation inside of the box, the lighting inside of the box, and the hand coming out. And then I was going to do the background, but I just felt utterly uninspired with this scene. And I couldn't get the lighting right, and there were just a lot of things that frustrated me with this. So I just kind of stopped working on it. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get anything else in here, any other details. So here, this is the actual box itself. Oh, that's great. I don't have any lighting set up in the scene. Let's just turn on Pro Lighting Skies with Morning 05. But here, so basically there's a smoke simulation inside of the box which scatters the light in a cool fashion. And then I did the texturing on the outside using Substance. And yeah, really, this is the only part that I actually put effort into. The rest of the scene, I just either downloaded, like I used the desk from Sketchfab, I believe. And then the background stuff is all stuff I modeled really quick based upon what I saw in the actual show. But as I was working, it got tedious and I just couldn't get the results I wanted without having to go and texture paint everything manually. And I don't have the time to texture paint everything manually because I have school, I have things to be working on, and this was at the bottom of my priorities list. So it just kind of got quit on and moved into the unfinished section. Is there anything else here? No. Okay. Pumps. This one was actually inspired by an artist. I can't remember his name. Hang on. Let's see if we can find it on Imager, because I saved it on Imager because I am addicted to that website. All favorites. Let's see see, it should be somewhere in here. Is this it? No, that's not it. I can't find it. Flood. Ah, here we go. Found it. Okay. Simon Stalinog, or I don't know if that's how you actually pronounce it, but he makes these really cool post-apocalyptic renders that I believe were incorporated into a game eventually. But I saw this render and I was like, dang, that's cool. And I was like, I want to create one of those things, and I want to create a pool of blood in front of it and be all nasty and stuff. So I called them pumps, basically, because it looks like they're pumping dead humans out of the earth. And this is what I came up with. I never really got around to making the actual pool part of it. I was going to try and put it in a more urban setting, and so I could be at least a little bit original with it. Right here, we can see there's the original render, and then if we really quick switch into rendered mode with this, here's my version, right? So I added on just some subtle differences to it, but this is a really fun, a fun test, I guess. I never finished it, as I obviously stated earlier, considering it's the unfinished folder. But it was definitely something that I got to experiment a lot with, especially using curves, because all of these wires sitting down here are all curves, and I had never really done that before. Most of the curve making I had done before, I'd just taken a cylinder and dragged it out across a specific area, but this was the first time I actually used curves and turned them into 3D curves and then tried to make them follow a path, which was really fun. Make up a story for the bot. Oh, wait. Oh, made up a story for the bot, but it's too long, so I'll send it on Discord. Sounds good. Hi there, saludos from Madrid. Well, how's it going in Madrid? I'd speak Spanish, but I'm so tired of Spanish right now, because we just had like a really big test over stuff and I bombed it. Not gonna lie, because I forgot about it completely. Fortunately, I have like a 96 in that class, so it shouldn't bother me too much. But anyway, hello in Spain. Anyway, what else do we have here? Odyssey. This was going to be something I was going to do for Super Mario Odyssey because I was kind of hyped for it, even though I still don't own the game because I don't own a Switch, but I'm still hyped for the game, you know. So I made a model of Cappy, who is Mario's hat, in case you didn't know. I was going to texture paint him. I can't remember how it ended up coming out, though. I think it was bad. I think it was pretty bad. We'll see here. We'll update that. Actually, no, it wasn't too bad. But I modeled Cappy, and he looks a little bit goofy. And I never really finished the render. I was gonna put him, what I was gonna do is I was gonna put Cappy on top of a 3D model of the Earth. Right, actually here, hang on, it's gotta be in here somewhere, Earth Cycles. Because I started out with an Earth model that somebody else made because I didn't feel like repeating that process. Yeah, there you go. So, I was gonna have Cappy sitting on top of the Earth, and then with DDESY sitting next to it, so it was like Odyssey, with the Earth being the O and Cappy sitting on top of it. Let's see how this actually turned out. I'm kind of curious. Again, I did not create the Earth in this scenario, so credit to whoever made Earth. Did they say? Yeah, no. It was off a blend swap, so unfortunately there is no defined creator that I can think of off the top of my head. Hopefully this isn't lagging too much. I'm gonna go get a glass of water really quick on this renders because my throat is absolutely just killing me, especially because I'm sick. Alright, I've returned, and here is what I had finished. So yeah, don't worry, I'm back now. But this is what I left off with. It was subpar, to say the least, in my regards at least, especially with the lighting on Cappy, because the lighting used to light the Earth, while it looks good, does not work with other models because of how it's structured and stuff. So I kind of gave up on this one, especially because I kind of lost the hype for Odyssey. So yeah, it was yeah, good stuff. Anyway, so that actually reminds me though, ever since we were talking about, well, I guess not really Spain, but since you were from Madrid, that reminds me, in Spanish, in my Spanish class, we were learning about El Gordo, the fat one, or whatever it is. Hang on. And I was looking at, gosh, what is this? She showed us an animation that was a commercial for it, and here it is, with Justino. And this is one of the best animations I've ever seen, and I love it so much. So this is a 4-minute commercial, for those of you who don't know, for a lottery in Spain. And it's just the cutest thing ever, and I love it so much. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but it gives heavy Pixar vibes, so that's cool. That just reminded me of that, and it's somewhat relevant to the stream. Alright, so with that, those are all of my more or less unfinished, unreleased projects. Cannot speak. Let's see. There's got to be something else saved on here that I didn't go over. Graphics, finances. That's fun stuff. Okay. Films. Oh, Tic Tac Attack. I never released this one. Okay. So, could you link it? Yeah, I can link it. Really quick here. Control-Shift-T. Send that really quick. There you go. It's pretty adorable. I'm gonna draw myself on stream. Okay, anyway. Any mouse sculpting experience? I sculpted with my mouse back in the day. I'm not very good at it though. Getting a drawing tablet changed a lot of things for me. So yeah. If you can get a drawing tablet, even if it's a cheap one, like I used to have a monoprice tablet that I got for like $50, and I could sculpt so much stuff with that, and it made sculpting so much easier. So, yeah. Anyway, Tic Tac Attack. This was for a, if I can find the file here. Here we go. So Tic Tac Attack was for a contest on some website, I can't remember what it's called, where they basically said, oh hey, it's a big contest, you can make an advertisement for Tic Tac, and it has to be less than 15 or the actual advertisement has to be 10 seconds with a 5-second end board for Tic Tac. And I was like, oh dang, the thing I saw was the fact that it was a competition for Tic Tac, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be awesome. The thing that I didn't think about was the fact that it was only 10 seconds. So I had this really drawn out idea about how these two guys eat Tic Tacs, right, of varying flavors, and then they gain superpowers based upon that Tic Tac, and they go into like a video game style battle based upon that. And I made this really cool thing that would have worked in a 30-second segment, but the issue is I only had 10 seconds. So I had to settle with this. Which it was really hurried and no bueno, but and the effects are kind of subpar, but you know, it's what I could do with 10 seconds. I really wish I would have made the 30-second version and just done something else with that, but there's so many other things. So yeah, I know I released this one, but it's still less known. So yeah. Everything else here, I believe I released though. A Sound of Thunder. Oh, when I was gonna make this. This is a short film I was gonna make, but then I realized I had no skills in order to make that. Oh, we can look at my Dead by Daylight. This was for a short film I was gonna, my mom's calling me again, shoot over the summer with my friends. And we got through one scene of it, probably my favorite scene in the whole thing is what we shot first. And Yeah, I don't have the 30-second version, just so you know. But anyway, we were gonna shoot this, and it was gonna be really awesome. But then things fell through with people because I decided to cast a couple, and the couple had issues, and the entire thing just, yeah. So I learned my lesson. But here, we can watch this. Keep in mind the audio is very rough. So this is my friend Lindsay. She occasionally comes into my streams, but she's a good actor. I will say that. Actress.
Josh, Emily, Jacob, where are you guys?
Cue cheesy sound effects, because it was just a draft. And the timing's off, by the way, too, because this was a very preliminary edit. And we're going to reshoot this exact shot right here, too, because her reaction time's way off, and she makes a weird face. But there's my friend Tim. He dressed up in that beautiful costume. Yeah. There's a lot of things I've seen in this that I could have improved on. Imagine his neck cracking really grossly there. That was a cool shot. I like that shot. And then we had to reshoot this too. We were going to, at least, because she was just like looking all around. And one of the things from Dead by Daylight is bright lights blind the killer, who is Tim in this with the mask on. But yeah, anyway. I'm going to actually just text my mom really quick, not answer her call. Just because she's just like, are you alive? Yeah. I'm live streaming. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, that was a project that I really wanted to go through with. And I might revisit next summer. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer that it fell through. Put your mom on the stream. I don't think my mom would appreciate being on the stream. Anyway, that's about it for all my unreleased things. So now I'm going to go ahead and continue a little bit of work on that little frog dude, chameleon dude, that I put in the beginning of my stream here. So this is him. I have to do the weight painting, I guess, is what I have to do really bad. Because I'm working on rigging is what I left off on. By the way, if you guys have any critique on this guy, this is kind of what he looks like so far. I'm going to redo his eyes because his eyes are too buggy. But here, just to put this in perspective, this is a really quick... Actually, no, never mind. I have a render right over here. So that's kind of what it looks like when he's rendered. His mouth, I'm debating getting rid of. Because he looks a little weird with the mouth. But I don't know what to do for the mouth. Actually, you know what? I do know what I can do. I can match the colors of his top spikes there. Would be one thing I could do. But yeah, so he's got a little tail on him. And I'm going to put him in this scene right here. This is actually, I got bored the other night. And I was like, oh, hey, let's put him in a scene. I was going to try and do VFX stuff. And I found this footage. This is just stock footage off of Pixabay. Right? And so I just found this on Pixabay. And then I was like, I'm going to do some VFX footage over it. Just for fun. And that's what I'm going to do. And then I was like, I need a character. So I started making a character. And now the entire project has become about this dude. So, yeah. And somebody said make his skin rougher. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. He does look a little bit greasy at the moment. We'll say that. So that is something I will do right now, actually. So I don't forget later. There's roughness. So change this to like 0.5 probably. There we go. Okay. So, let's see here. We'll start by redoing his mouth, because his mouth bothers me the way I textured it. So, I should have... Here, let me really quick get the color values off of his body. What is this? So, let's change this to 0.23, 0.8, 0.11. Okay. Open up Substance Painter and we'll paint it in there. Rigging a fetch character is challenging. All the artifacts and the skin buttons here and there. Yeah, that's definitely something that is going to be a challenge, which is, I'm also not really rigging him that heavily. I'm just kind of light rigging him, and most of the animation is actually going to be with his body. So the idea is when he walks, he kind of bounces back and forth between his legs. So yeah. It looks like that game where you eat peppermints. Oh, you're right. It does. It looks like what's the cut the rope? Cut the rope. I think it's funny. My chat keeps catching things as spam. Like it just caught the "your mom is so fat it's actually really challenging to rig her in Blender" comment. That was funny. Okay. Anyway, so let's redo the mouth really quick here. First, we need to get the body painted. So we'll just call this base. And I can't remember the colors. I think it was. Just kidding. I can't remember the colors. What were they? 0.23, 0.8, 0.11. 0.23, 0.8, and 0.11. There we go. Oh, let me get my drawing tablet out here. Just really quick, just color him green. Hopefully this doesn't make a horrible noise. I know before my old drawing tablet used to make a pretty nasty noise. I don't know why I didn't just create a fill layer for this. I just created a fill layer. Okay, we want none of this. Base color, okay. 0.23, 0.8, 0.11. That's wrong. Oh, that's I put in the hue saturation value. 0.23, 0.8, 0.11. That's better. Okay, so there's our base color. Skin. Okay. We'll call. Ooh, I just burped. Excuse me. Mouth. So we have mouth, and we're going to use the exact same color as his spiny things here, which is 0.7, 0.1, 0.1. All right, simple enough. That's actually a really easy color to work with. 0.7, 0.1, 0.1. There we go. Nathan, I just make a fill layer. Don't worry, I did it. I did a fill layer. Aren't you happy? Hardness 0.8, 0.9. Yeah, looks a little bit better. Okay, and then we'll turn on the lazy brush. Okay, so a few things people were saying were to add teeth, I noticed, which I agree. If they're rounded teeth, it would look kind of cute. I just have to see, probably turn on symmetry as well. The symmetry, there we go. That looks really off. It looks like he's wearing lipstick. Oh boy. Okay, how do I make a mouth for this creature dude? Well, for one, I'm going to drop the saturation of this because it's way too saturated. And drop the value a little bit as well. That just looks too pink. Shift A, add mouth. Of course, I'm so stupid. Pink, basic colors. The thing is, I need a color palette to work from. What if I make this more orangish? Actually, doesn't look bad. If I can make this like boost the saturation a little bit for the outline, make this slightly more red like that, and then do that. No, that still looks too dumb. That looks slightly better, except I need to actually like draw a normal line. Yeah, hang on, I gotta turn up my lazy brush. Nope, that's too much. Actually, you know what? Here, hang on. Material. No, that's not what I want. I want texture. Oh, right, I disconnected the texture. Ha! Smart. Actually, we'll just leave the... Okay, whatever. So... make it like Kermit's mouth. That's a good idea. Here, hang on. I think that's actually, oh, that's no, I don't, stop breaking, oh my goodness. Okay. Kermit the Frog. So his mouth is just a green upward bump, and then it goes into red. That's a possibility. Let's see here. Rotate model for some more light. It's pretty dark in there. Yeah. Are you gonna make him a cute character or cute evil? I'm trying to make him a cute character. I forgot how to rotate the light. It's like, there we go. There we go. So actually I want to try and do the Kermit mouth thing. So let's try and use this green, skin green right here. Make it a little bit darker. And we'll paint on height. And then lower the hardness a little bit. Actually, we'll lower the hardness all the way. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to try and paint in like a lip. Okay, that's a little bit too much, but kind of gives us a concept of what we're trying to do here. Let's see, is there another? There we go, that's more of a fall off. Okay, I need to turn down the spacing. Okay, never mind, I need to turn up the spacing. Not to 291. Definitely not to 291. 10, can I go like 12? 12 works. 15. There you go, we'll go with 15. I want the height to actually be like 0.2, and I still don't like that shape. I'm gonna do something like cone. No. Add a fill layer and do an inverse mask to edit the color live. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. So add a fill layer, and then we only want height and normal and rough. Actually here, then we'll add a black mask. Paint that on. So then we want the height to be up about 0.2. For now, we'll just make the color red, just so I can see it. Oh, that looks gross. But I just gotta get the line in the right spot with the right brush shape. Maybe this one will do it. Oh, oh, that is disgusting. It looks like he got a bunch of like he's got acne now. Oh, I could give him freckles. I could give him freckles. That'll be interesting. Okay, and we're gonna just go back to the bell shape because the bell shape works pretty well. I'm gonna change the color from red to like a dark green. Probably should go into the fill layer. Okay, that's a little bit much, but gets the point across. I need to change the spacing down to 15 again. There you go. Okay. I'm painting across the seam. I don't want to paint across the seam. Okay. So there's that, and then we'll do the top one. Oh, there's the seam again. Okay, now let's change the height a little bit. Change the color to something a little bit more normal, like that. All right, now I'll try and change the color of the inside of his mouth. Make some eye sockets. Yeah, I'm gonna give it eye sockets. That's one of the bigger things I have to do. We'll call this lips. They're kind of lips, I guess. And then we'll call this mouth inner. Put this below lips. Actually, I'm gonna make this a fill layer too. I should just keep creating fill layers. Mouth, inner, and then I believe the color for this was like 0.7.1.1. No, 0.1.1. Whatever, it looks good enough. Add black mask, and then we only want, what in the world? Why is this doing this? Oh, ha, lazy brush on. Just trying to harden this up too. That looks way like Kermit from the front. It actually like looks like him. I do like that though. I think the green lips look better. Maybe you should give it huge glasses. Yeah, I think this looks way better than what I had before. So we'll keep that. I'm gonna tweak the lips a little bit here. The mask for the lips at least. Not the, oh, I guess it's more or less. Do not do that. Oh, sweet. X works in, I didn't know that worked in Substance. I didn't know you could alternate between white and black with those. But I'm basically just gonna refine the edges here so it's not so. Nope. Too much. Turn the hardness down. I just ended up making it all squiggly. Ah, no. Control, how do you, there we go. Alright, never mind. I think that looks good. So we'll leave that. I'm gonna give him some freckles because that was actually kind of adorable when I did that. So make a new fill layer. I call it freckles. And we'll make the thing have a base color of like a nice pinkish color. I don't know that. Then we'll add a black mask. We'll go boop. Just kidding. We need to grab the right thing here. Let's go boop, boop, boop. Neela, it's so cute. I gotta get the right color though. I could have just selected this one. Oh, select that color. Okay. Then I gotta get them in the right spot. Shift right click. I gotta get the lighting so it's not blinding me. Get rid of that. Nope, get rid of those dots. Okay, there we go. Nope, didn't want that either. That feels wrong. Yeah, they do look a little red. I agree with that statement. So let's see here. Let's change into a more orangish color. We'll try that, kind of like Yoshi's. Oh, why did I delete them again? I keep deleting them. Ooh, it's too far off. Can't get them in a position that I like them now. There we go. Okay. No, they still don't look right. They look too perfect. Because I'm used to destructive workflows. I might be a little bit used to those. Not gonna lie. For freckles, I'd make them look dark green. Okay, well there's orange. We could go with something like dark green too. See, the issue with dark green is it can't, I don't know. Increase the hardness on those freckles. Yeah, that's another thing I should probably do, increase hardness. Good thinking. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, there we go. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. No. Boop, 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 Boop. Come on. Look normal, please. I'll change the color back to dark green with these, see how those look. Actually looks good. If I make it a little bit lighter and more saturated. And then I could also give him a little blush. I keep creating those layers. Except, of course, we make it a light green instead of like actually blush, you know? Turn the value up, drop the saturation, add a black mask. And then we'll just go back to the typical brush shape here. Oh, then we want to put this below freckles. Oh, that's too strong. There we go. Something like that. No, I don't really like that. Yeah, so one of the things that I have a really bad habit of doing with these things is, well, for one, I don't know Substance Painter that well, but I tend to use destructive workflows. And for those of you who don't know what a destructive workflow is, basically it's when you create something, except it just doesn't, you can't recover it. So I can't just go back in time with every single project I've made to the very beginning. If I use a non-destructive workflow, or sorry, if I use a destructive workflow. So things will be permanently modified and I won't be able to go back and edit them. With a non-destructive workflow, basically you can continue to go back and check up on things whenever you want, and you can make different changes without having to worry about anything else. And I'm streaming at 720p just because I'm using XSplit because I can't get OBS working for some reason. So I can only do, ooh, trippy, whoa. With this I can only do 1280 by 720 without having to pay. And I don't want to pay for a software that I rarely use. So yeah, it was unfortunately kind of a backup because OBS wouldn't work with the Kinect camera for some reason. I have no idea why. Okay. I'd say that's pretty good for the body. I maybe want to add some toes onto him. I wonder what that would look like. Hang on, let me name this blush first. And then Control Shift N. So like claws or something, toes. Actually, it's a dumb, what's the shortcut for creating a fill layer? I don't know. Somebody should tell me if they know. I don't know, but the freckles are kind of staying out, like they're out of picture, maybe less details, I guess. It might be, I can go back and revise it, because I used a non-destructive workflow. Toes, we'll call this. We just want these ones. We'll make it like white, and then we'll add a black mask. And then we'll use a nice hard brush for this. Harder than that. Oh wait, that's backface culling. Ah! What did I just do? Black mask. There we go. Alright. 90. Let's see, does that look a little bit better? Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Where's the flow at? I turned the flow down. And then we should be able to paint on the toesies. Okay, is there a better brush for this is the question. I don't feel like creating a specific brush myself, so that's what I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna go and stick with the sphere on this one. There are circle brush. I'm just gonna turn this on to like 4. clean that up in a second as well. I might end up taking these off as well. This is just kind of me experimenting with this. Seeing if anything looks good. And then we'll go back into these settings and add some height to them. Yeah, not a big fan of the toenails. I don't think. I think his feet should just be like that. Let's go back to the freckles though. Let's make them blend in a little bit better. I think elephant type feet would be appropriate. I'll go back and check out that and try and do something else with it. Oh god, I just screwed that up. There we go. Okay. Elephant toes. Elephant toes. Yeah, see, that's what I was kind of going for. Elephant feet are so weird. I never thought about this, but elephant feet are so weird. What even are elephants? They like got long noodle noses and then they got like feet that look like teeth. I don't even know. But maybe if I give the toes another go, because it seems like a lot of you liked how they looked. So we'll try it. Toes. Nope, not T-piece. Stop, change toes. There we go. Add a black mask, and then we'll try and paint these again. I'll use a smaller brush as well. What's the hardness at? Where's my hardness? There it is. It's 0.9. Okay, never mind. We'll go a bit bigger. Just so I can actually see what I'm working with. Okay, so there's that. That's going to be our main toe. And then we'll do 2 little side toes. And then we'll clean them up at the end. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and try and make it look a little bit better than it does right now. Change the height up a little bit. That doesn't look too bad. Let's see here. What's up? How's it going, Noah? Are you gonna give him scales? I don't think I'm gonna give him scales. I think I'm gonna kind of leave him like this, just because it keeps that simplistic style. You should make them in 2 layers. One with slightly larger painting to create the contours of the toes. Not sure what you mean there. If you could be a little bit more specific, I might be able to do it. Think more and you'll be like, what is life? Who are we? Cool, I guess. And then what's happening? Right now I'm just working on this little character. Previously in the stream we went through all the different things I've made in the past. All the weird things, all the cool things, everything really, that I haven't really publicized or released too much about. So yeah, that's what you missed if you just got here. As for other stuff though, just sit back and enjoy while we work on this character dude in Substance. Should I give him back toenails? I'm not sure if we should give him back toenails. Because I like... I'm still not feeling the toenails, to be completely honest. I'm gonna give him back toenails. And we're just gonna see how it looks. And that'll define whether or not I do it or not. Because I like the idea of him having toes. The issue is I can't think of a way to do toes other than this that would look good. You know? You know? Okay, back nails definitely look goofy. No back nails. Oh gosh, I just don't know. I just don't know. This is one of the things that sucks about creating this stuff is you just don't know half the time. I think I'm gonna leave the toenails off. Here, hang on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the toenails off just because it's a chameleon. Chameleons don't really have toenails, so. For the sake of anatomy, we will leave his toenails off. The anatomy in this beautiful... I call this frog, by the way. I don't know why I call it frog. I'll keep calling it frog, though. Even though it's completely unrelated. I really don't think there's much else that we can do with this guy. It doesn't require extra modeling. So, I'm going to go ahead and export the textures. Just the body textures. I'm going to export them to there. And then I'm also going to create a new fill layer. That's a new layer, new fill layer with some subsurface scattering colors on it. So it is this 0.55, 0.8, 0.15. 0.55, 0.8, 0.15. There we go. So this is going to be for SSS. There you go. Subsurface scattering colors. We're going to... Actually, I'm actually going to create a folder for this guy. New folder. Chameleon. We'll start calling him by his actual name. And that should work a little bit better. And this is going to be called chameleon.blend. Right, we can say, we can exit out of this here. We don't need rainwater.blend. Chameleon.blend. And we've got those files and the rest in here. Frog. Okay, new folder. There, we'll save this really quick and we'll export the textures. But so this is going to be chameleon textures. So we're going to file, export textures to my desktop here. Chameleon. What? Oh, it's still in this folder. Chameleon textures. Okay, select folder. We are going to export these. Export. Okay. We're going to go into here. We don't need any of these other than height and base color. So this is going to be frog skin. This is going to be... stop. No, not F. F.png. Okay, there's going to be frog.bump, height, let's call height. And then we'll go ahead, oh wait, that was the SSS. Okay, anyway. File, export textures, export. Okay. So then we get a few extra files. We don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, and we don't need that. This is going to be frog surface. That's going to be frog SSS. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna save this as chameleon now. Chameleon right there. And then we'll go ahead and do some file organization here so we don't have to keep dragging around files in the wrong places, because that's no fun. This is going to be, we don't need this anymore. Actually, never mind. I don't know if the file's dependent upon it. So chameleon textures, chameleon.spp. We can get rid of these because we don't need them anymore. We can get rid of frog folder. Okay, cool. So let's go back into the Blender file then and do some stuff. For the workflow, I'm using a PBR shader, but I'm not making everything physically accurate in terms of everythingness, if that makes any sense. So I'm only using some PBR features, such as subsurface scattering. Well, I guess subsurface scattering isn't PBR, but I'm not using things like roughness. Like I'm not painting roughness. I'm just using a noise texture that's run through a couple different things. So yeah, just so you know. Let's see here, Control 0, Shift Z. Okay, cool. So now we need to load the new textures. Load chameleon textures, surface. And then load textures, chameleon textures, SSS. Perfecto, there he is. What a little frog, and the freckles stick out too much, so we'll have to go back and tweak those a tad bit more. At least from the top they did. From here they don't look too horrible. And then we gotta get our height map going. So let's see, grab these, move that over here, open, height, and we want non-color data. Displacement up to the color. I'm seeing no difference in anything. Let's see here, converter, math, change this to multiply and like multiply by 5. $500. Okay, so it knows it's there. It's just being goofy about it. So we'll change it to like 2. It's probably subsurface scattering. It's too high or something. 0.3 on the subsurface scattering. Okay, so let's switch back into camera view here and just render out a little portion of his face right here that I might want to go back and correct, depending on how good this comes out. Let's see here. Have you done a Substance Painter plus Blender tutorial? I have not done a Substance Painter and Blender tutorial. Who did? Blender Brit did, I believe. Blender Brit, or at least he's planning to. Let's see here, Blender Brit. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. He's done a lot of stuff. Oh, here, SP2, the blend substance. So this is a Blender market thing that he created, which allows you to. It's just a shader built for it, which is pretty handy. But he's planning on actually making a course. I believe I've talked to him about it before, regarding that and other stuff. So if you want to go learn that, I'd strongly recommend going checking it out. There isn't too much to go over. It's pretty simple, but it's nice and handy. What graphics card do you have? I have a NVIDIA GTX 1070 in my system, so it's a little bit powerful, which is always fun to have when you're doing graphics. Can you use a math node for the normal map to drop it a little? Like to drop the strength of it? Because unless you try. What do you mean? What do you mean by drop it a little? That's all I have to ask. Oh no, I just made the chat go away. How'd I do that? Where'd the chat go? What in the world? Oh, there we go. Okay, I got chat back. Alright. So there he is, kinda. His eyes are off. His eyes are goofy. Yeah, his eyes, I think what's really throwing it off for me, and his mouth also comes to a point here, right there, which I need to fix. So I'm gonna hop back into Substance here and fix that. The biggest problems people have in Substance Painter and Blender is getting maps to look correct in cycles. So true. And the only difference is the normal map. Oh, Remington Graphics. There is a live link plugin for Substance to Blender. Is there? I might have to check that out. I'm not going to do it during this stream because I'm not familiar with it. But that's definitely something I want to check out. You should DM that to me on Discord, if at all possible. That would be nice. Okay. Okay then. Where else does this look goofy? It looks really goofy in the center there because of... Ah, no. F11. There we go. Why is it doing that? Is my UV unmapping or unwrapping really that bad that it just can't do that, or is that because I had symmetry on? Huh. I must just be really bad at UV unwrapping, which is not a surprise at all to me. Okay, there we go. What else looked off here? I feel like his lips should be shinier than the rest of his body, but I don't feel like trying to correct that because I don't know what value they'd be shinier to, if that makes any sense. Okay, it still comes to a peak inside of the mouth there, so let's go ahead and try and smooth that out. Where's the flow? So one of the things I hate about trying to paint things in substance is because I can never draw straight lines, even with the lazy brush enabled. I always end up goofing something up. There we go. That looks better. Cool. That's actually too steep. Picky Grant is picky. Did I just do that without symmetry on? Ah, dang it, I have to correct this side now too. I'm smart. Estoy inteligente. There we go. Alright, that wasn't too hard to fix. Alright. I can see some super small rounded teeth for that model. Yeah, that is definitely something I would do as well. Or I'm going to do, I think, as well. Okay. File. Oh, that's another thing. His lips shouldn't have the normal map applied to them. Ooh, okay. So how can we do this using these textures? Alright. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'm gonna really quick, yeah, just run to the bathroom. If people come and they're like, where is he? Oh, hey. Hey, Blender Brit, how's it going? You caught me right as I was leaving for the bathroom. I'll be back in like less than 5 minutes, probably like 2 minutes. But yeah. Alright, I returned from the dead. Not really. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Hopefully not many people left. My pen did fall on the floor though. That's one thing that did happen. Okay, so with that in mind, what was I doing? Let's see here. Are you modeling Pepe, our Lord and Savior? Of course I'm modeling Pepe. A really long, cute and squishy Pepe. This is Substance Painter. It's a great texture painting software. that if you don't know what it is, you should totally check it out. It's quality stuff. Alright. That's what I was doing. I was trying to get rid of the normal map on the lips. Which I could... Not this normal map, but the other normal map. From Cycles, not from this. So here, I'm going to re-export these textures. Export those. Come back into here. Actually, you can delete these. Get rid of those. We're going to name this too. Oh, I didn't say delete, I said rename. They're really close to each other. Frog skin. Alright, and then we got, oh, wrong one. Then we gotta turn the SSS on. And file, export textures. Oh, actually, I want to hide the lips for the subsurface scattering and the freckles and the blush. You know, we'll just export textures, body export. Okay, then we can delete these and we can name this to frog SSS. I still don't know why I'm calling these frog. It's a chameleon. Frog height shows you my file management skills. Oops, made a typo there. I'm great at managing files. Just like I called Bert when I didn't know what he was. I just called him Bug Guy Maybe. That's legitimately what I called him. Bug Guy Maybe. Alright. UV image editor. Why aren't these coming up? Frog SSS. Frog surface. That's why I call it skin now. Frog skin. No, frog skin for this. There we go. Okay. Frog, you're triggered. You're triggered by the frog. How tragic. Okay. So let's see here. The heights. The height's not updating. Or the height's not even looking normal. The height's not looking normal. Get it? The height isn't looking normal? That's a really bad pun that I accidentally just made there. Why is the height map not working? Alt-R. What in the world? Oh, because stupid, Grant. You exported it without the lips, and the lips are the only thing that cause height. Good job. Intelligente. Alright, export textures, body, export. We shouldn't have to worry about the colors, just the height. Okay, there we go. There we go, that looks more normal. Frog, height. Sorry if calling it a frog triggers you, apparently. Seems to be a common theme here. Alright, now we still have frog height selected there. I just want to make sure, multiply by 1000. Yep, that's definitely detecting it. Okay. So then, if we got all these reloaded properly, which I believe we do, but I'm just going to reload them all once more just in case, we can go ahead and try and get rid of this mouth issue. So, right here, basically, I applied a normal map to the entirety of this model. Issue is it's appearing on the lips as well, and I kind of want to get rid of that because the lips and the mouth area are supposed to be relatively smooth. So you can kind of see it there. It's a little bit hard to see, especially because I'm rendering at a relatively low resolution. Let's get a little closer. Trying that. But getting rid of this would basically help clear up some things, hopefully. And that's out of focus because I didn't change the focal length of the camera or the focus point of the camera. But you know, close enough. I tried. So in order to do this, we are going to, what would be easier, vertex painting or texture painting? Texture painting would probably be better, just because. So I'm gonna add a new texture, image texture. We're gonna do the same thing over here. UV image editor, create a new image, and we're gonna call this normal. Let's call it normal effect. Yeah, we'll call it normal effect. So the areas that are affected by the normal map are going to be in this area. So we'll make it white because we want the entire thing white. Change it to a 32-bit float because CG Cookie says so, and CG Cookie knows all. But there is actually a reason behind it. I'm just not very good at explaining it. They made a video on it a while back. So we'll put that there. Shader, diffuse shader, just for now. Actually, you know what? We just need a viewer node. There we go. Cool. So now let's go ahead and paint our textures, our beautiful, beautiful black and white texture. Where's my mouse? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of follow the curvature of the mouth and where the lips were, I believe. Can you do a lazy brush with smooth stroke? Yeah. Nice. Can you do symmetry? Symmetry. Ah, it's a savior. Okay, I think it was Y symmetry. Yep. Okay, wow. That made things a lot easier. Texture painting in Blender has never been easier now that you can use symmetry and stuff. It doesn't matter if this map is perfect for me. It just needs to be approximate, and then we can tweak it more later. Okay, now we can turn off smooth stroke and just color it in. Probably increase the brush size as well. More helpful tips from Grant. Color this in. So basically what I'm going to do with this texture map is I'm going to multiply it with the texture map, or the normal map, right? So it's eventually going to become 0 where it's multiplied with black, right? And by the way, I should specify I'm using a noise texture and running that into a bump map, so I'm multiplying this with a noise texture and then running it into the bump map. So it's not like I'm multiplying this with a normal map. And hopefully that'll give us some more reasonable and expected results. Change the strength up here. Okay, let me check chat again here. Make eye sockets now. I will do that too. While Pepe the Frog is still mostly used in a completely incorrect manner, you should be aware that it's been appropriated by racists and anti-Semites as the mascot of the alt-right. For sure. I saw that on... yeah, actually I saw that somewhere. But anyway, this is an awesome stream, Grant. Glad you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, that's for sure. Except for the fact that my throat's on fire because I had got a cold. Can you make a low poly game? Oh, he's already left. Well, maybe he'll come back and see this tomorrow. But anyway, can you make a low poly game? Low poly games really aren't my style. I'm not very good at game making. So I'm going to say no to that. But there are plenty of ways to do it with Blender or Unity or other sites as well. Or others, not other sites, other tools. And then we'll continue filling that in. Okay, cool. I'd say that's pretty bueno. So now let's go ahead and actually do the node editor part of it. My favorite part of it, because node editors are the greatest thing known to humanity. So we got that image texture, and we have this texture right here. So we'll take all of these. Oh wait, that's roughness. We'll take all of these. I'll add in a multiply node. I could use a color mix RGB node, but I prefer math nodes for things that aren't or black and white, just because it's easier for me to keep track of. We'll multiply the color in, and that runs into the strength. So this should, we set that to our preview option here. Yep. So you can see the texture out here, but as soon as it enters the mouth, it becomes nothingness, which is exactly what we want. Oh, Control Shift, there we go. So now if we render this small portion of the mouth, and hopefully set the camera's focus properly. Oh, that's the focal length, 24, turn off autofocus. Focal point, so it's focal point like right there. Render. Okay, 32-bit float will give you greater depth and resolution. There you have it. Oh wait, 32-bit float? I know what a 32-bit float is. What am I talking about? I feel stupid. I had to work with 32-bit floats all throughout the process of making this PBR scanner thing. Cause here, let me pull up the program really quick. All throughout, so for those of you who don't know, I'm making a portable PBR scanner. And I'm working on the code and computer science part of it right now. And one of those things is deriving depth maps from parallaxed images, and that's what I'm working on right now. And in order, the export is in a 32-bit float. And I feel so stupid. When am I thinking about ending the stream? 6:30 maybe. Give it another 30 minutes, finish up this character. But where is it? Right here when I export it. 32-bit float. Actually, no, sorry, that's the 32-bit integer. But it takes a 64-bit float actually and compresses it down to a 32-bit integer. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. So yeah, now you have more knowledge. This is a pain. Just saying. ND arrays. If you know anything about programming, just know that I hate ND arrays. And you probably do as well. Give us a demo of the scanner. Well, the scanner's not really working. I will, however, open Spider back up really quick here and give you a demo of what exactly it does with one of the many things I have running here. So, basically what it does is it takes two different images. Oh, here. Boom. So it takes two different parallaxed images, and what parallaxed images mean is if I'm trying to take a picture of my hand, right? So I have the camera here, the open part of my hand being like the lens, right? It takes one image from this angle and one image from this angle, right? Two very slightly rotated images, right? So that's what these two are. So the top image right here is a neutral image, and this is based upon the magnitude of reflected polarized light, which is more or less, which is calculated via the probability that light superposition light collapses at a certain angle is how we calculate the magnitude for this. That's all physics related stuff. But this is more or less what the camera sees, right? And this can be interpreted via these algorithms, which I'll explain in a second here, in order to get a height output. So this is a neutral image, meaning it's taken from straight above, right? Just like that. And then this one was rotated slightly to the side. And that's what positive X is. So it runs these through these algorithms. This first one, which is y prime equals 0.299r times whatever. That's to convert from an RGB image to a black and white image. What I also did here is I divided by 2.55, so, or sorry, 255. That way it's taking a, I might change this as well, by the way. But it's taking whatever the color is and converting it into a float. And then what it does is it calculates a direction map. And what a direction map is it tells you what direction things are coming from, or what direction a face is facing. So in this case, if this is a rock, right? This is the forward facing side, this is the positive X facing side, this is the negative X facing side, and this is the back facing side. That's basically what it tells you is a direction map, right? And a direction map is purely black and white. It says, this side is facing me, or it isn't facing me, right? From there, it calculates angle data, which angle data is basically like one side is so if this is again the rock example, right? This side is like this side would have a value of 1, right? Because it's positive X facing, right? This side, the top side, right, would have an angle of 0.5, because it has no angle, I guess. And this side would be, sorry, I keep confusing this. I have a giant binder. Hang on. Look at this. All this good stuff. Oh, I can't even see it. All my notes on physics. I know more about light physics than my teacher does now. And I learned, that's tragic. I just tore a page out. That's so sad. I'm like 3 months ahead in my calculus class because I learned it all to do this. Okay, so an angle map, right? So if this is our rock again, and we're talking about just the x-axis, which is this horizontal axis here, this side faces positive x, so its value is 1. This face, the top face, is neutral, so its value is 0, as well as this front face and this back face, right? And then this side is facing negative x, so the value is -1, right? So what we can do here is we can say that the z value of that individual thing is the inverse of the magnitude times the angle. So the magnitude being these images over here, that's the magnitude, times the angle data, right, for each pixel, plus the z value for the previous pixel, which I know is kind of confusing. I'm not going to go too much into depth, but using this, we can combine it into a bigger algorithm to find the x and y height for each individual pixel. Then we can convert that into certain specific data, and then we can export that. And holy cow, a lot of people just left. So yeah. Anyway, that's the science behind it, I guess. Oh, apparently images isn't defined. Why isn't images defined? Did I not import data? Data import global images. Images equals. Oh, it's missing files. Ha! That's why I'm stupid. Okay, it should quit after that. Why didn't I do that? Anyway, PBR examples. So this is one of them, right? For example, this notch example. Actually, you know what? Here we'll do a different one. We'll do this notch. Here we go. So we'll drag these files onto my desktop, and then when I run this, basically you can see it first converts into a gray image, which takes a while because these are relatively large resolution images. So that's the first algorithm this went through. This is very interesting, but it doesn't sound like it relies on the parallax effect unless you're comparing 2 points of view. Yeah, this is actually, it is based upon 2 different points of view. I didn't really explain that, but the difference between the images is the direction map. So that's how the parallax plays into that. So you can see it just solved for the direction. Now it has to, oh, okay, it's exporting direction maps, because I forgot I added that in there as debugging. So here, this is what a direction map looks like, right? So it took this image, right, and this image, which has a slight difference, and it found the difference between them, which is this. This is actually wrong, but it should still work. You can see positive y and negative y have no value. I don't know why positive y is white. That's a bug in this. This is still heavily under development, so there's still a lot of bugs. And then it solved for the height. As you can see here, it shouldn't have exported those direction maps, but it did, because I forgot to take the code out. 90, condensing, and exporting. And ta-da, we have a height map. Boom, magic, just like that. So that's taking 2 parallaxed images and turning them into a height map. So yeah, there's that. You just gained knowledge. Congratulations. Anyway, back to this thing. We'll quit the sciencey stuff and go back to the artsy fartsy stuff, because that's what I feel like a lot of people are here for. So let's do a really quick full render of this thing. Can you use multiple different parallax sets for any gain? Not at the moment. I might add that in later, but for now it just needs 2 images and it pulls out a full resolution height map from the 2. So I just turn the sample count down. By the way, does my stream break up when I render? Because I'd imagine it would. Because I know it makes everything buffer, so I'd imagine it'd buffer my upload speeds as well. My throat hurts so bad. All right. There we go. Well, that looks nice. For some reason, though, his cheek here is banded. That is odd. Probably because I'm multiplying it so much. So I will not do that. Okay. Yeah, it does. It lags just a bit, though. Denoising is God. That is very true. So anyway, there's that guy. What else can I do with him? I can add eye sockets, but I really don't know. Honestly, I think he kind of looks cute without eyes. Look at him without eyes. He's just like... Yeah, I actually kind of like him better without eyes. What do you guys think? You like him better with eyes or without eyes? I actually like him better without eyes. I feel like I want to add different eyes though. Like, I don't like the big eyes. That's what I'm thinking. I don't like the eyes. Yeah, small eyes is what I was thinking. Whoever just said that in chat, Noah. That's what I'm gonna try really quick here, is giving him small eyes instead of big whopping nuggets for eyeballs. Okay, I'll change that down. Mirror modifier across this object on the y-axis. Ah, no, don't want to grab that. Okay, that looks a little weird. Maybe putting them together. Okay, that actually looks very scary. Not even gonna lie. Maybe if I space them out or space them apart further. Oh, that looks less intimidating when they're spaced out and floating in front of his face. That's not a joke, by the way. It actually looks way less intimidating. Let me just see what this looks like. If I made them black and new material, just a black diffuse. Oh, I forgot to turn off the rendering for his normal eyes. Okay. It looks so stupid. Oh my goodness. It's just like, be my friend. Okay, let's just add a principled shader. Oh, not flat refraction. Principled shader. There you go. Okay, let's turn the base color down to like dark gray. Specular will leave 0.5. Roughness will change up to 0.1 and try and re-render that. I kind of like his eyes floating out in front of his face like that, not gonna lie. Looks kind of cute. Like he's just like, hello, I want to be your friend. Fairly sure this thing will have a cameo in my next nightmare. I hope not, he's meant to be cute. But he's not coming out like that. Change up the pose. Well, I can't really change up the pose because I don't have him properly rigged at the moment. So, I like small eyes too. The mouth is still freaking me out. Oh boy, what am I gonna do about the mouth? What am I gonna do about the mouth? Because I can't resculpt it because I don't want to have to redo all that. Let's see what he looks like from the front. They're too far apart. That's part of the reason. Oh, they should be far apart, but not that far apart. Maybe they shouldn't be floating. What happens if we make them not floating, just poking out like that? Give it buck teeth. Welcome back, Joey. Small eyes with tiny teeth. Alright, yeah, that looks more normal when it's actually attached to his head, I suppose. Yeah, and teeth, I think, is gonna be something I'm also gonna add here. His lip is split right there from my crappy UV unwrapping. How did I screw that up, though? It's like, oh, it's because I made a seam down the middle. Haha! Good job, Grant. You are intelligent. Sorry, that was probably really loud when I just clapped there. This is scary right here. Just look at it. You know what that reminds me of? Okay, imagine this is its entire head right here, and then it goes down and like goes into a neck instead. Right? That reminds me of what is his name? Cheese, I think, from what is it? Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This guy. It reminds me of this guy. I mean, I guess the eyes are different, but you can see the resemblance. Oh man. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so it looks a little obsessive from the front, especially because he's like smiling. Hang on, let me see the armature again here really quick. Let's try rendering it like that. It looks like a Meeseeks too, kinda. With that top part, like if you were to, I'm covering things up on my screen thinking you guys can see it. But if you were like just view it from the mouth up, if you can cover up on your own screen from the mouth up, it looks kind of like a Meeseeks. That actually, it's starting to look better. Let's see, worse? Scary worse? Eyebrows. Eyebrows would be a good idea. Yeah, actually, eyebrows would be a really good idea. I don't know how to do eyebrows on this guy, though. Hang on. I'm going to delete his old eyes, because I don't like his old eyes at all. I need to actually see them. Okay. Get rid of these, because we don't need them. Okay. Eyes. Oop, eyes. Plural. There we go. Okay. So, eyebrows. Eyebrows. See, it's so hard to make something cute. I always end up making it looking terrifying. A tongue, it's a chameleon, right? There we go. A tongue would be a good idea too. That's a good one. I might give him like a dog tongue though. Can you drop some bones in the corner of the mouth with some smooth fall off? It might give you some minimal control, enough to make it smirk or smile. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna do. I don't really want to do rigging in this video because rigging is kind of boring. Not gonna lie. So here, let's see. Add plane. Let's see, hang on. Let's look up some reference. Cartoon chameleon. Okay. How do I do eyebrows here? Okay, we'll look at what's his name, Pascal, right? I think is what his name was. I don't know. From Tangled. So with them, they used ridges in the model, and the issue is I can't really do that. Look up cartoon lizard, see if we can find anything there. See, the thing is, a lot of these things I like that with the floating eyebrows. A lot of these things have eyelids too, and this guy just doesn't. The issue is I don't really want to add them because I already have the entire thing unwrapped and stuff like that. Chameleons don't really have eyebrows. Their eyes are also super interesting. Yeah, that's the one thing. Huh. I'm stuck. Oh, I still have substance open. I'm gonna close out of substance because we aren't going to be using that. Okay. 0, Shift F. Let's see what this looks like. Huh. I'm struggling here. Google image for chameleon eyes. Well, yeah, I know what chameleon eyes look like. Nope. And they're definitely goofy, that's for sure. Look at that. Oh, here, how'd they do Rango, right? It's like Rango. Yeah. Okay, how'd they do his? So for eyebrows with these, they used just again that the crest above their eyes is what they did. I forgot Rango was a movie. Not even gonna lie. Huh. Okay. Let's see here. Smarter Everyday had an interesting video on Chameleon's tongue recently. I love Smarter Everyday. He's a cool dude. Grant, you made me so hyped when I got the announcement for the stream. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you tuned in. It looks like a Stegosaurus. It does look like a Stegosaurus. I think I might turn this into a Stegosaurus or some sort of dinosaur now. because it's not really fitting the chameleon idea. Okay, well let's see. I wonder if I could do something with shape keys here to okay, here, hang on. What if I do something like I move these up? I've never actually in mission time here, or yeah, confession time here. I've never actually used shape keys in Blender. So here, let me. Actually, I have to do these since I don't have the mirror modifier enabled. I have to do them together so I don't ruin the symmetry of the model. Never mind. The reaction grant priceless. Oh. Yeah, I have interesting reactions to things. Gosh, I really just am struggling with this. Hardcore struggle right now. Hang on, let's see. If I were to take this guy and I were to put him far out in a scene like this, and I were to render him like that, without doing a close-up on the face like the last 5 renders have been. Is that still creepy? It looks like a it looks like a watermelon. Oh. Oh. It looks like a watermelon when I do that. Let's see, from the side like that. What does it look like from the side? Close his mouth. Might be a good idea. I can't close it all the way. He kind of has a mouth like this where he's got a little bit of a underbite. The expression on his face. He looks like he just pooped himself in public and he's just like, well, don't know what I'm gonna do now. This is it, guys. That's totally the expression on his face. Look at it. He's just like, oh my goodness. From the front he looks even less like that. He just looks like, for the front he looks like just like he's biting his lip. Oh boy. It might be a good idea to add some cheekbones though. We can try, oh my god, we can try a facial rig here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I've never done a facial rig before. Other than jaws and eyelids. We're gonna see how this goes. Live on stream, Grant attempts to make a facial rig. Shift S, selection to grid. Selection to grid, there we go. Shift D, put over here. Okay. And we're gonna make these smaller. Control Alt S, right? No, Control Shift S. No, that's to save. Control Alt S. Shift Control S. No. Alt Shift S. How do I scale B-bones? Armature, transform, scale. Control Alt S. Of course, the one combination I didn't try. Control Alt S. Go. And we're gonna make these SZ a lot smaller because they're just gonna be little bones. Okay, so let's try and do some very basic weight painting here. Just nothing to. I don't want to bore you guys because weight painting gets to be extremely tedious. Okay, so select this. Why is it all purple? It should be black. Oh, there we go. That did the trick, I guess. Okay, so we'll make this nice and big. That really needs smooth stroke. Yeah, I'll just try that for now. So then we'll change the strength down to like 0.5, the radius up to 200, not 2000. Put a dot there. All right, then we'll select this one, put a dot there. Cool. Then we'll expand it down to the jaw a little bit. Oh, this one down to the jaw a little bit. Okay, then we're gonna blur it up. Same thing over here, blur it up. All right. So now if I move this around, okay, we're going to especially blur it on the inside because that looks a little bit wonky. Okay. World's first facial rigged watermelon. So true though. That's more or less what it is. Eat. Oh, look! I can give him expressions. So now he's like, I don't like that. You know, I should really make upper lip and lower lip controls. Is what I should do. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is gonna be the upper lip control. First I'm gonna go into edit mode and position it so it's in more of an upper lip position. Wait, I don't want, no. Edit. Object mode. Okay. GZ. SY. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go back into weight paint mode, select this guy, and subtract everything. The strength of infinity. And nothing's getting dragged, is it? Yeah, there's a little bit getting dragged in there. Okay. Alt G, same thing with this guy. Alt G. Okay, cool. Now we dedicate these to be upper lip controls. That would work a little bit better, wouldn't it? Oh, they need to go forward. Object mode. There we go. Okay. It's like 1:30 here. I should be going to bed, but this is entertaining. Yeah, it's so weird having time differences and doing live streams. It's definitely strange because some people will be like midnight or like whatever. It's weird. It's weird. Quick question: ever use Blender Sensei format? Considering I don't know what that is, no, I have not. I know who Blender Sensei is, very vaguely. I've watched a few of his tutorials throughout my history of blendering stuff up. Wait, paint this. Okay. This I want to reset. Okay, here we go. So now let's go ahead and add in a little bit of pizzazz up top here. Okay. So next up, we blur this way, like that. Okay, blur around this way, just a tad. And then down here, we just hardcore subtract it. Okay, I want to blur this just a tad. There we go. There we go. Okay. That worked surprisingly easily. Wait. I can use X mirror? Huh. What time is it there? It is 6:30 here, where I am. In Los Estados Unidos, United States. I could use X mirroring. The thing is, I don't know if X mirroring works with between bones and stuff, so, and I'm not really familiar with weight paint enough to step out of my bounds really right now. I mean, I'm already stepping out of my bounds with facial stuff. Like, I've never done that before. Okay, so I need to subtract this up here a little bit. That has way too much influence. Places where it shouldn't influence that much. Blur this more. There we go. Right. Yes, mirroring is key. Again, let's check Discord. I sent something. Will do. They have to be mirrored. Wait. They have to be mirrored already by name, by being named like cheek on cheek off, for instance, when they are mirrored. I think you have to set it up when you're creating them, though, so it might not work now. I said an essence is doing calculating the time difference, which comes out at 3 a.m. I was good. A long night. Yeah, so I will definitely check out more advanced weight painting stuff in the future, but at the moment it's kind of not my strength, so I will avoid that like the plague. There we go. So you can do that up there, and then you can do this even when this is up. Now I need to parent that to the, okay, hang on. Object mode, edit mode. This bone's parent is actually going to be not that, here, hang on, okay, I gotta rename these bones. So this is going to be lip left lower. Actually, lip lower left. Lip lower left. That's an alliteration right there. Lip lower left. Okay. Lip upper left. Lip lower right. No, I keep forgetting to capitalize the R to the first letter of the direction. And then lip upper left, right, sorry. Lip lower right, lip upper right. Okay, cool. So this one's parent is not going to be that. It's going to be jaw. That way when we rotate the jaw, it'll rotate that as well. Same thing here, jaw. Okay. Object mode, oops, sorry, pose mode. Let's test this out. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And then we can take this guy and be like, oh god, it's a little bit buggy. But you can make him go like that. Oh. Alright, I'll see you never sync mix. Okay. So that's interesting. Alt G. Is there a way to make things so they like can't collide with each other? That would be nice. Okay, anyway. Alt R, Alt G, Alt R. Oh, you can rotate this too, can't you? Yeah, you can. Okay, why is this set to local? It should be global. Okay, let's see what else here. Weight painting, go back into weight painting. We need to get rid of some of the stuff up here because it has too heavy of an influence up there. Okay. Now if we close it, drag this down, switch into object mode. That's just a little bit buggy. Just a tad. You know, by tad I mean a ton. How do you prevent that from happening? Do some bones from the mouth corners. There you go. There's your there's the solution right there. Okay. So we'll switch back into edit mode for these. 1, 3, Shift D, G. Oh wait, Shift D. Shift D. Move that up there. Shift D, same thing over here. Move that up to there. Oh, it's asymmetrical. How'd I do that? Oh well. Cool. So this is going to be lip corner right, and then this one's going to be lip corner left. This is certainly interesting, experimenting with facial rigging on my own. Well, I guess I have you guys, but still, it's odd. It's new grounds for me completely. Okay, mix. Scale that up a tad. Scale that up a tad more. Scale it down a tad. Oh no, I keep using the brackets to change the brush size like you would in Photoshop or something. Just doesn't work in a Blender. Okay, so we'll take this, blur, just a tad. Make this one blur, just a tad. Okay, now if we rotate the mouth shut. Oh, I forgot. Did I just? Oh, right, I didn't do any waiting. Oh my gosh, it's almost kind of working. Oh, OMG. So cool. I could keybind it, but the issue is it's already parented to another key binding thing. So that would just be kind of weird to try and do that. So it's having trouble with the back of the mouth. I might just need to do some more blurring there. Yeah, I wonder if there's a keep mesh from clipping itself blender. That's character mesh clipping. Ah, great. Okay. Maybe we have something in the Mata like constraints or something. Yeah, never mind. I don't know. Right, I better call it before it's time to get up. Fun stuff though, Grant. May have to try my own stream at some point. See you, Blender Brit. Have a good night. Get some rest. Alright. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. It's always fun to see a familiar face down in the chat. When is my next stream gonna be? I have no clue. That's one of the wonders of being one of my viewers. You never know when I'm gonna stream. I usually announce streams on Twitter like a day or two in advance. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is @RemyGraphics. Uh-oh. We're getting some mesh deformation now. Why do that? Because of the weight painting I did. Okay. Oh, never mind. I just found my solution to my problem. That was easy. Getting any of that over here. I might be and just not know it, so I'm just going to spread these out a little bit more, just in case. Strength, drop that down. Clear. That looks goofy. Okay. You know, that might also be another issue with this, is the point that this is rotating around. If we change this forward more, what happens then? Oh. Huh. Well, that makes him frown. That's for sure. How the aspect Grant is random and spontaneous. Yeah, that's definitely me. I'm a very random and spontaneous person. I just kind of do things when I feel like it, which is bad in a professional sense. I mean, I can get stuff done, but like, I prefer doing it on a random and spontaneous note. Okay, that's just not what I want. I need to figure out a way to get this to pivot correctly. That doesn't make him frown every single time. Nope, that's not it. He just looks so sad, just like, oh, there you go. I kind of got it. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's try this. We should be able to position him so that he makes faces now. So he can be like, grrr. I don't know, not like that. So we can do that. And we can like make him kind of frowny, like that. That's such a goofy face. This has actually turned out really well. For my first facial rig, I'm proud of this. I'm proud of this. If this is not... Oh. I have to leave soon, but when you're done, check Discord from Firebee, which is me. Sounds good. Actually, I'm going to check Discord right now. Discord. Okay. Oh, dang. I got tagged a lot in here. How many new Discord members did we get? I feel like we got a lot of new Discord members. There's a few. Okay. Here's the story of Remington Graphics. Far into the future, humankind is gone on a single rung down factory run by a single AI that's continued doing its job. Oh, there's one of the stories. Okay. Single scatter. Okay, there's the definition of single scattering. I think toenails are better as meshes. True. True. Check out this Blender product I'm working on. Any tips? Okay, I'll get back to all these in a little. Oh my god. Oh, NASA Peepo! That's a beautiful video. Cool. So, and then he sent me the Substance Painter. Cool. Alright, yeah, I'll get back to those shortly here. So, that's actually pretty adorable. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I actually made something that's kind of cute, which is hard. Just for me, because I don't know cute. Ah! Oh god. That's wonderful. So yeah, there we go. Alt G, Alt G, Alt G, Alt R. So there he is. I'm gonna do the legs really quick, because, you know, if I'm weight painting now, you guys are obviously dedicated enough to sit through it. Just a tad bit more weight painting. Don't worry, it won't be too terrible, I promise. Unless I keep making errors like that. Okay, and then we need to blur it out a little bit. A lot, more like. Alright, so let's see. So now we can rotate that, like that. Move it up and down, and it affects things properly, okay. I'm gonna spread it a little bit more up like this. I wanna make sure it doesn't affect the jaw hinging at all. Nope, not really. Spread it more up this way, more up that way. Then I want to actually get rid of it down here, because it's kind of interfering. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was kind of interfering with the mechanics of the other leg, right? It was kind of dragging the other leg up and down. And the idea is that you don't have to worry about that. And by the way, this whole thing is going to be animated by moving bones up and down, is how his legs are going to work. So Grant, is it going to be a Stegosaurus? Someone needs to make a GIF of that reaction. I think it is going to be a Stegosaurus. And if somebody wants to, they should totally make a GIF of that reaction and send it to me, whether that's on Discord or tweeting it or emailing it or whatever. I need to have a GIF of that reaction. I never got to actually witness my own reaction, so it'll be nice to have something to remember it with. Okay, I gotta weight this a little bit heavier. I'm surprised my mom hasn't gotten home yet and just started making a bunch of noise. I don't know where she is, other than she's coming home from work, but that's very vague. Blur. There we go. Okay, so comparing these two, this one needs more on the inside here. Blur. That looks pretty similar now. Alright, jaw hinging still functions properly. Cool. Cool, cool. Who just texted me? Oh. Okay. By the way, I just got an email from somebody in the stream, Nathaniel Zahn. If you guys want to, what I always like to do is during these live streams is give critiques of it and different renders that people give. So if you guys have a project that you're working on, oh yeah, I just saw your message in chat. So if you guys want to send me an image, I'm probably in a few minutes here going to go through those if you want to. So I'm going to go through all of them. So send them to me in an email. My email is down in the description. It's grant at remingtongraphics.net. So if you guys want to send me something, totally do it. I love critiquing and hopefully giving you guys some advice to improve your project at least a little bit, telling you what I think of it. So if you guys are interested, email me a project. I'll be opening up in a few minutes here. Probably when I'm done finishing up these feet, which shouldn't be very long at all, so do it quick. Grant at remingtongraphics.net. Or just check the description if you're not lazy. You're gonna save this stream? Yeah, this stream is gonna get saved. Hopefully, if I did it correctly, which I believe I did. So yeah, you can expect all my streams to be saved unless I specifically say otherwise. But I have no reason to not save any streams, so... don't want to do that. Would you mind if it's a work in progress? Yeah, go ahead, go for it. I like looking at everything, absolutely everything. That's what I usually do. So let's see how many we can get stacked up in my inbox in that time. So far, I still only have one, I think. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't gotten a notification on my phone, so I don't really know. Okay, there we go. So that works. There we go. Emailing project links is fine, yeah. Just email me a link to it or email the actual project itself or email a render of it or whatever. And I'll open it up and take a look at it. Are you into architectural rendering too? I'm not too heavy into architectural rendering. It kind of bores me, to be completely honest. Because there's just a lot of minute details that have to go into it, especially with things like furnishing the room and stuff. I just get so bored with that. I prefer creating things that like you wouldn't really see in the real world. Just one, because it's easier for me to do that, and two, just because I enjoy doing that in general a lot more. So, no, I'm not really into architectural renders, but I have done some before, and they were alright, I guess. Certainly not something I'd want to do every day for the rest of my life, though. Nor would I really want to do this. I want to do engineering stuff, because that stuff's way cooler to me. This stuff's cool, but engineering is like 10 out of 10. This is like 8 out of 10. Engineering is like 10 out of 10, you know? You feel my ordeal? Okay. Paint his little tail in. Oh, how adorable. And then blur it up. Oh, there we go. I'm getting a few notifications on my phone now, so they are coming through. Sent a thing. Cool. I'll be opening up in a second here. Just want to finish up the weight on this tail. Look at his little tail. What? Okay, it's affecting his butt though. I don't want that to I don't want his tail to affect his butt. Or a little dinosaur butt. I'll blur that just a tad around the edges. Okay. Alt R, AA, Alt R. Oh, no, not everything. AA, Alt R, Alt G, Alt S. There we go. So we just fully rigged him. So there's his back leg, which is actually kind of goofy because it's affecting things. Okay, never mind. We are not good to go with this. Okay, subtract that out of that mix. And then blur all of this, please, so it's not so atrocious. Not that this leg will be extending this far anyway, but you know. It's pretty good. Okay. Oh, all the emails are coming in now. I'm just getting notifications for them all. Okay, blur all of that. Oh, okay, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and look at some of the emails now that I'm more or less done rigging this guy, and so I stopped getting notifications. Okay, send, receive. This loads. Okay. So Zane or Zaid Gilly, I almost said Zane. Ooh, that's cool. So did you, for this, like take a sphere and delete a bunch of polygons and then build out from those? Cause that looks really cool. It reminds me of the RG Simplicity entries. So yeah, no, that's really cool. I like that a lot. If I were to improve one thing with this, I'd say to get something slightly more interesting on the inside things here, because these there's actually two things, never mind. I put something like a slightly more interesting material on the inside here with something with varying roughness. I'm not sure if you used a PBR shader here, it looks like you did, but something with varying roughness would help to kind of sell a little bit more realistic vibe to it. And another thing I do with these outside things, it looks like you did greebles with these, some sort of greebling. If you can, add a bevel to them, because one thing that helps all models look better is to add a tiny little bevel to each individual corner, because in the real world you never see perfect cut angles like this, right? So adding bevels to those, if at all possible, I don't know if it's possible with this geometry, but adding bevels will help sell the realism a lot to make things look a little bit more natural. But overall, that's a really cool render. I like the concept of it, and I like how you did it. Ooh, also I'd throw glow on there. Glow on some post-processing stuff. That'll look interesting for sure. Alright. Joey. Alright. Mushrooms, crystal, and an alien called Squeep. Alright. So there's the crystal. That's cool with the geometry. Did you do that with a procedural workflow, or how'd you do that? Because I've seen similar things come out of a procedural workflow. I don't know. But that's definitely fits a crystalline structure, which is cool. Especially like a fantasy kind of crystalline structure. Something like, oh, what is it? What am I thinking of? There's a game that has some sort of crystal as a currency that I can't think of right now. But it looks exactly like that, which is really cool. So that's definitely neat. These mushrooms are cool. I like how they're built. Until they're like finished and textured, though, it's kind of hard to give any critique. One thing I can't really tell here is this looks kind of like just like a half sphere on top. If the geometry doesn't connect underneath, that might be something you want to look into. I don't really know if it does though. And also, one thing I find really useful, especially with mushrooms, because I had to I had to model a few mushrooms in the past. I've had to mushroom a few models in the past. No, I've had to model a few mushrooms in the past, and it always helps with mushrooms to look up actual mushrooms. And find a specific type of mushroom to model something after, because there are so many different types of mushrooms, and somehow, no matter what, if you model a mushroom that doesn't look like a real world mushroom, it always ends up looking a little bit uncanny, and I don't know why that is. It just is like that. So I always like to look up references, especially for mushrooms, because everybody can spot things that are off with mushrooms. Now if you're going for a more stylized view with this, I totally get it. But if you're going for photorealistic, that might be something you want to look into. And then let's look at the last one, Squeep. Squeep the alien. So I like that, Squeep. So with Squeep, a few things I'd recommend is to retouch the eyes. I guess I like his body because he looks like I don't even know. He looks spiky and cute at the same time. But his eyes, I guess, are just kind of there. If you can, I'd make actual divots into it and then place a sphere there. Kind of like what I did with the eyes on this guy. I don't have any divots around it, but there's just spheres there, and that's how his eyes work, right? That's a good way to get really realistic looking eyes and normal looking eyes in Blender. Another thing, if this is his beak, it looks like a beak to me. I'm not sure if that was what you're going for, but the structure looks like a beak, and I'm going to analyze it as if it were a beak. One thing I'd do is to use the crease tool from the sculpting options and go around and crease around the beak. So that's definitely that's one thing I'd do as well. And maybe with the tail tentacle thingies as well, I'd also kind of smooth into those because they're kind of just jetting out. Because the general shape right here is we have a sphere, and then we just kind of have these jetting out. If you could make it like smooth and flowing, that would be a little bit better. But yeah, it's definitely good, and I really think it could be better if you do those things. So if you do that, you should send it to me again, and I'll tell you what I think of it, and maybe give you a little bit more insight. So good job with those. Those are all really cool. Noah L. Work in progress of an Aston Martin GT12. Okay. First, let's look up at Aston Martin GT12. Oh, these cars. I love these. There's actually an Aston Martin that I really liked, and I couldn't remember what it is. Aston Martin. It's something like this one. DB11 that I really liked. I can't remember though. It was like white. But anyway, so GT12. That's a complicated car to model, I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and see what you did with it. Oop, no, over here. Oh, dang. That is impressive. That's actually really cool. I've never actually tried modeling cars before. I mean, I guess I did actually model a car, but it wasn't a car. It was a very basic car. But yeah, that is really impressive. I will say that I could never model a car. I get too fed up with it. So as for improvements, and I'm assuming this is a work in progress, considering you said work in progress of an Aston Martin, and I'm pointing to my screen again, realizing you guys can't see it. But what I do here is, even if this is a work in progress, for the final render, I definitely load up an HDRI to light it. That way it gets a little bit more natural lighting than just the studio lighting, but it really looks good. It's really impressive. So keep working on that. That's bueno, muy bueno. It's a cool angle too. All right, critique. Oh, more cars. That is very realistic. That is impressively realistic. Okay, so, oh, you have a little thing over here. Okay, so, S2014 model textures rendered with Blender 3D. This is a personal project mainly focused on practicing wavy and complex models, that's for sure. To practice smooth reflections and smooth topology on objects like this. This is just the exterior part of the vehicle. The interior is not modeled yet, so the front and back windows have been tinted black. The concept behind this rendering process is to be as photorealistic as it can. The backdrops for most of them are HDRIs from HDRI Haven. Okay, so let's see here. Try to find something to nitpick on. This is really cool. I'm just trying to find something to nitpick on so I can give you at least a little bit of advice. The places where I see this, the model itself is outstanding, and it's really, really nice. So great job with the model. The one thing that I'm seeing here is the materials are a little bit goofy looking when they're put in this lighting scenario. Like in this scenario, the materials look really nice. Actually, I guess the materials on the car look really nice in this lighting scenario, and this one they're a little bit goofy. I'm not gonna focus so much on this one though. This one right here. The one thing that I can see in this, like again, this is a fantastic render, but the only thing that I can see that is really bothering me is these the rims on the car here. They're just a little bit too diffused or too rough. I'm not sure if that's just the way I look at it, but it looks kind of cartoony like that when it's super rough like that. But other than that, that's absolutely fantastic again. So great work on that. That's really cool. Hang on, how far does this go down? So it's the clay renders. The clay renders look really nice. That's awesome. Keep up the awesome work. That is really impressive. Okay, and then Nathaniel Zahn, who is the first one. This is a run I've been working on recently. I'd love to get your opinion of it, and I hope you like it. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So we got the whole sword in the stone concept. Wait, so this is a render. That's so weird. It looks very, very hand-drawn. I like that. I like that a lot. Because like down here, all the textures and stuff, it looks like something that somebody drew. And all the grass too, it looks like somebody drew this, which is especially cool. Yeah, I like that style. Let's see. Yeah, this is another really cool render. The one thing I would change about this, I think this is awesome as it is. The one thing I might change is maybe make the entrance to the rock a little bit smoother, because it kind of looks like it just clips through. And I get that's kind of what the sword in the stone is, but maybe add some sort of like crack in the stone around it or something if you can. That'll be definitely interesting to see. But other than that, that looks really cool, and I love the style of it, and the colors look nice too. You chose a good color palette for that. So good job. Let's see if there's any more that came in. Doesn't look like it. All right, so we'll continue with our dude guy here and do stuff. Okay, so I think I got him fully weight painted then, with the exception of these things up here. So here I have to really quick parent this to the armature with empty groups. Same thing with this up here, Control P, empty groups. Okay, so for the most part these are going to be unaffected, but we have to still weight paint them in because good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Weight paint. We'll just very lightly, right there, and blur it a little bit. RZ. Okay, never mind. I should probably do this first, where I take this and just apply a basic coat to the entire thing. 0.1. And then just blur it all to death. That's how you weight paint. Open my Instagram. I have artwork there. Oh, yeah, for sure. Instagram.com/ooppath. There we go. Oh, that's 32, not 42. Oh, hey, I found your old account, unless you made a typo. Oh yeah, you did make a typo, and I made a typo to correct your typo. What are the odds of that happening? Okay. Oh yeah, so a lot of this stuff I've actually already seen. I really like some of these renders. There's a few that I think are alright, but there's a few that I really like. I really like these Iron Man suit ones that you did. These are really cool. Especially this one where you get to see the front. I like how you had the lighting on it, and it's very smooth and soft, and then you have that whole gradient background going on. I think that's really cool. The helicarrier and this guy, oh, not this guy, and this guy are the only two I might want to work on a little bit more, just because they're like, oh, I guess this is Kurt. Wait, Kurt the human. Oh, I remember this guy. You showed me this guy. I forgot about this. But Kurt is a beautiful, beautiful specimen based off of Bert the human. Oops, sorry. Okay. Hang on. Wait, what was it? Oop. Payak 45. Wait, I got. I'm confused. All right. Anyway, but I really like the Stark Tower too. That's cool. Oh, I liked it. Well, cool. I liked it. But yeah, I really like a lot of these renders. This one's cool as well. It's very soothing to look at, to say the least. So good job with all of these. They're really cool. I like the Captain America one too. They're all really neat. So good work. Keep working. Those are nice. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. So now does this work properly? There we go. Okay. Now I gotta paint this guy and paint it so that it actually follows the rules and stuff. I had a really weird dream last night. You guys want to hear about a weird dream I had? It was strange to say the absolute least, but it was a nightmare, right? But it was a beautiful nightmare, if that makes any sense at all, if those aren't the two most contradictory things in the world. So anyway, basically, since one person said yes, I'm now going to tell you all, so congratulations. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to properly weight this here. Okay, anyway, so basically what happened was I was on a plane in Hawaii, right? I had been there with my entire like class at school, like there's like 250 people in my grade at my school. And all of them were there, right? At least the majority of them were there. And we had just gotten back from doing something there. I don't know what it was, but it was something, if that's any help at all to explaining my situation. And we were getting on a plane to come back, and the plane, right as it took off, right, started having a lot of issues, and the plane like started to crash, right? So we were all sitting in the plane. We were like, well, this is it. I was sitting next to my friend Matt, and we were like, well, we're gonna die basically, because the plane had taken off. We were in the air, and it had just started to descend basically, because it was just on the verge of exploding basically. So it was about to fall down, and we were over the ocean while this was happening, right? And as it began to fall, and as soon it slowly descended, and for some reason the cockpit was open, right? Like there, you could see from the back of the plane all the way to the front, right? So there was no like cockpit door, so you could see out the cockpit windows, and they were really big, right? And you could see the plane just approaching the water, and as it entered the water, right before the entire fuselage of the plane collapsed and basically killed us all, what happened was it dove into the water, right? And as it dove into the water, out of the cockpit windows, there was just a humpback whale swimming right at us. And I just remember thinking during that dream, I was like, if I'm gonna die, this is the way I want to die. Like, it was the most beautiful thing in the world, because it was just like those very cool. I'm having a hard time explaining it. It was just one of those very, cannot explain it for the life of me. Just a really pretty moment in a moment of death, basically. And somehow we didn't die, by the way. I don't know how we didn't die. But it knocked us all unconscious, and we all awoke in some weird, really nice luxury home. Yep, I'm still going strong. Ain't stopping until I get my paycheck. Not that I have a paycheck. Let me change this bone type to stick bones, because I don't really want to have to deal with this. These big bones are too big. Armature stick bones. Gosh, that just doesn't seem right. Oh, you must take your Instagram. Okay, hang on. I'll go back and check it out. Instagram.com/oopheadback45. There we go. Okay, oh, so here's some of your more recent stuff. Alright. Oh. That's cool. I like these. These have got really cool color to them with that blue gradient from dark to light. That's really nice. I like the how you can see the geometry of the surrounding walls. This looks like a part of a car, which is definitely a complicated model. That's really cool. Yeah, there you go. Lycan Hypersport. That's neat. This is a face. Did you make that in Blender? Because if you made that in Blender, that's really cool. And then we get the Iron Man suit, faded. That's cool as well. I like how you used rope to spell it out. That's definitely interesting. I haven't given this a title yet. Yeah, that's how I feel with it whenever I name things. I always have trouble naming different things. Oh, and here you showed me this too. This car that you made. This is definitely cool. I really like your models. You're really good at modeling. So keep up that work. Oh, is this video of it actually and working? Ooh, neat. All right. Now the spines should be weighted to the last tailbone. You're correct. They shouldn't be. Good thinking. Well, the thing is, yeah, you're right. They shouldn't be. Why was I thinking they should be? Whatever. Problem solved. They're no longer weighted. I've got to repaint that as well. Okay, Alt R, RZ, and that's not really going to be bending too much itself, so I'm just going to leave it like that, and then do the same thing here. With this. First I have to actually parent it though, with empty weights, or empty groups. Okay, then we go into weight paint mode. And we do some of this stuff. I keep trying to make it bigger again, using the brackets. Ah, no, stop. Okay, there we go, weight paint. Okay, Z. By the way, I'm just curious, where are all of you guys from? Like, you don't have to tell me, but I'm just kind of curious as to where you guys are watching from, because I know I have a lot of people from random places watching. I wonder if are any of you from Chicago, Chi-Town? Where are Tim and all of your friends? Hawaii, really? I'm gonna be going there in a few weeks here. Paraguay. I wrote an essay on Paraguay. That's cool though. Okay, blur the crap out of all this. Oh right, I didn't do the dumb main bone parenting. Okay. Mix set to 0.1. Just do that, like that, and then blur this all. Tennessee, nice. Idaho, Germany. I love Germany. I'm like, my family is very German. I really want to go to Germany someday. What island are you going to? I'm going to Oahu. We're staying on the North Shore, up by Bonsai Pipeline, because we're all big surfing fans. So we're going there for the, what is it, Hurley Pro, I think, is up there. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Okay, so I need to repaint this properly so it matches up with the, actually no, I need to repaint this one so it properly matches up. Can I not grab the dumb, oh, I have grabbed the dumb thing. Oh, not skill mode, weight paint mode. Cool. That was easier than I expected. That should stick with it pretty well. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna just blur that a little bit too, just for giggles, you know. Alright, so greetings from the Big Island. What is it? I've actually never been to the Big Island. I've been to Maui. I was on Molokai for a little bit, and then I was on Oahu before as well for a while. What is the Big Island like in comparison to those? I'm just kind of curious. Grant, have you heard of cardistry? It's unrelated to CGI, just throwing it out there. I have not heard of cardistry. What is cardistry? Oh, card flourishing. Yeah, I know what cardistry is. Yeah, cardistry is cool. I'm not very good at it. I can do a Russian shuffle. Do I have a deck of cards? I have a deck of cards. I can do a Russian shuffle, which is about my extent of cardistry skills. Did send you an email. Are you still doing critiques? Yes, I am. I'll open it up right now if it comes through. There we go. Oh, here's another one. Okay. Oh, so this one was with the table. I'm like for Thanksgiving. This scene was made in Blender. Gathered some pre-built models and played with lighting to make a quick scene because I was late for Thanksgiving already. So yeah, can relate. Yep, that is me in a nutshell. So that's cool. So it's just the table. All right, so it's a really nice render. I will give you that. The one thing I'm going to say with this, and I understand it was rushed, it just seems to be missing some pizzazz. It feels very monotonous, I guess, throughout, because you just have this big checkered table and then everything else is white with the exception of the green bottle. And nothing really stands out to be the focus of this image. That's the only thing I'd really work on, is adding some sort of focus and adding some more color differentiation throughout. But the quality of the render itself is actually really nice. I just work on that and so give it something to focus on as opposed to just being a whole set. And again, it's with some time constraints, it's hard to make things super quality. But yeah, that's the one thing I would say with that. And then let's see. Work in progress of an alien. Wait, of an alien Romanian warrior. That's cool. That's adorable, actually. I love the character design where he's got the big eye and the little like ear lumps sticking out. That's really cool. I like how he has the armor on him as well. Let's see. So in terms of critique, it looks really nice and I love the character. One thing I advise changing is the hands. And you might actually hang on, you had a second image here. Let me save that really quick. Maybe you did something different with that. Oh, it's just him without his helmet. Okay, so the one thing I would improve with this is his hands. Because right now his hands seem kind of... They don't fit, I guess. His gauntlets or whatever it is are just very... They don't fit in. They don't blend well because they're red, 2 because they're like super smooth, and 3 because they have this little gap here where it fits around his thing. I'd imagine a gauntlet would fit tighter than that. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I would change is just maybe update the material for. I think this is supposed to be chainmail, maybe along here. It just looks kind of goofy. So those are 2 things I would do, but I absolutely love the design of the character and the concept of him. I love his big eyeball. It's adorable. But yeah, this is really nice. Just work on those things. Oh, and one other thing, it looks kind of like these are floating. These little side face guard things. I don't know if those were meant to be floating or not, or if they attach somewhere and I just can't see it. But that might be something else that you want to work on. But other than that, I really love the character. He's pretty dang adorable in a vicious warrior way. Okay. Obviously much bigger, but there's a volcano here and it sometimes snows on the mountains. That's cool. What I really want to do is I want to go backpacking on a bunch of the different Hawaiian islands, just because my family and I are very outdoorsy people. Like last summer we went backpacking on Isle Royale, which if you guys don't know where Isle Royale is, it's up in the middle of Lake Superior. It's a national park up there. And we backpacked 60 something miles, I think, which was a ton of fun. Well, I guess it was just me and my mom and a bunch of other people that I know that she doesn't really know that well. But yeah, I really want to go and just backpack the Hawaiian Islands, especially because I love just Hawaii in general is just such a nice climate where it's like it's warm, but it's not hot. Like going to Florida versus Hawaii, when I go to Florida, or when I last went to Florida, I guess, it was just like you were breathing in liquid water because of how humid it was outside. But with the with Hawaii, it's just got that breeze all the time, and it's just like nice, and it rains almost like every night. At least on the part of Oahu we were on, it rained almost every single night, and just nice fresh smell of rain in the morning, and it was nice. It was nice. I just like Hawaii. Liquid water. Did I say liquid water? I mean, I guess that's better than breathing in frozen water. That would be a little bit painful, just saying. Gaseous water would be nice and toasty. Even though I guess you are technically breathing in gaseous water. Oh boy, my brain's not working right now. Trails here are amazing, and getting from place to place might be hard. Oh wait, although getting from place to place without a car might be hard. Well, good thing I am good at walking. We could always rent a car too, or I don't know. Does the Big Island have Uber? I know it's only really available in cities, and I know it's in Honolulu because Honolulu is a large city, but I'd imagine there's something on the Big Island that would have Uber. Okay. Anyway, what do we do? Hibbity hibbity hip hop. Gotta be the one available and instead of get a better man. Wanna be them, but it goes to Uber? Wait, you don't know what Uber is? Or like, wait, what? Oh. Hertz? Rent a car? Yeah. Well. Search Mighty Raccoon on YouTube. Oh, sarcasm. See, I didn't pick up on the sarcasm there. It's so hard to pick up on sarcasm over text. I hate it. I hate it a lot. Can I hide relationship lines? How do I hide relationship lines? Display. Relationship lines. There we go. I hate relationship lines. Why do they exist? Why are they a thing? Okay. So let's see. Let's try doing some facial poses with this guy. So we'll try and do a smile right now. Oh, didn't want to do that. Without making him look too awkward. It's so hard to do a smile. Oh boy. He's looking a tad awkward there with his smile. I should add middle lip bones. That might help. But for now, this is our adorable creature's beautiful smile. Yeah, so what have we learned from this? Grant's not the best facial rigger. That's for sure. Okay, anyway. Let's try and do something else here. Let's add some mid-face bones. Hopefully that'll help. Okay, let's rename these bones. Lip out, upper right. Lip out, lower right. Lip out, upper left, and Clip out lower left. Okay. So now let's switch into edit mode and add a few more bones. Should probably turn on that thingy, whatever that is. Snapping. There we go. Okay, hopefully this will allow us to there we go. Okay, so actually I should probably adjust their Z depth or their X depth as well, because otherwise we're just gonna have a bunch of bones that are way too recessed. There we go. Okay, now to go back and do more weight painting. My favorite part of the CG process. Boy, do I sure love weight painting. Every day when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh boy, I get to weight paint. And then I go weight paint for 8 hours straight. I don't want to do anything else with my life except for weight paint. You know, they say weight painting limits creativity. I say weight painting is my creativity. Why can I not move this? Oh, because I have snapping on. Ah! Smart. Smart, Grant, smart. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna run this stream until my mom gets home. That's what we're doing. So the length of this stream all depends upon my mother. So, yeah. I don't know why. I just decided that was the end time when she gets home. Bottom part down here. Blur it up, blur it up, blur it up. Grant, tell me I'm funny. You know I am. You're hilarious. I don't know what you're referencing there, but okay. Make a super glitchy pose and a render. I'll do that. I'll try and do that. Check your email. Okay, I will check my email. Ah. Oh, the Tesla phone. So, oh, so you made some, I think, did you make improvements? Yeah, you made some improvements to it. So I like this project. It's like the Tesla smartphone. I really want to try and create a smartphone 3D model, but I don't know where to go with it. But I like that you did, you mixed a bunch of different phones together here to make this like Tesla phone. I wonder what a Tesla phone would actually be like. Anyway, Tesla phone.mp4. This should be interesting. Oh, so there's a turntable of it. Ooh, oh, I didn't realize the back was super reflective. That looks nice. Huh. That's cool. Nice. That's awesome. Really awesome. Keep developing that. That's cool. All right. Anyway, blur this out more so it's like that one. Oh wait, that one doesn't have anything. Ha. Estoy inteligente. Estoy buenísimo sobre estas cosas. Con estas cosas, no sobre. No sé por qué hablo, dijo sobre. Oh, it was rendered in real time. There you go. There you go. That makes it like 10 times cooler, just so you know. I think it's funny. There is such a hype around Eevee. It's insane. I don't know if that you used Eevee for that, because I know you're like the master of all rendering engines, but like just the hype around Eevee is absolutely crazy for like everyone. It's kind of weird actually, like trying to deal with it. No, I want to wait paint still. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, now let's try and put his face in a more normal position. So we'll close his jaw. Oh no! There's your glitchy pose! Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. Hang on. Should I set this as the thumbnail? Oh, I never set a thumbnail for this stream. I should have done that. Oh well. I'm good at remembering things. Oh, hi Jack. Welcome to my stream. You can leave now. I don't want you here. Oh boy, this is an atrocity, to say the absolute least. What even? Imagine if you had a child and it just came out and it just looked at you like this. What would you do? What could you do? That would be just no bueno. Kind of sexy though. Rar XD. Okay, hang on. I'm saving this in my memes folder on my desktop. Yes, I have a memes folder with a bunch of things that are weird and that we're not going to go through. What do I call this? What do I title this file? What does this face look like? Somebody caption this face. Caption this face right now. And I'll check my email afterwards. Okay. Nut.png. Oh boy. This is supposed to be a PG stream, guys. Come on. Well, we're just gonna call this intelligence. I don't know why. Intelligence it is. That beautiful thing. Okay, checking my email since you guys are yelling at me. Just focused on lighting. Okay. E.png. I like the file naming system. Ooh. The lighting is cool. I like that, where it's kind of just casting the shadow of the car. One thing if we're just focusing on the lighting, it looks cool. The camera angle looks a little bit off for the use of this lighting, just because it looks, I don't know, it doesn't seem framed properly, but if we're just focusing on lighting, yeah, it looks really cool. Alright. So we got that one. I know you see my power and love it. Cowboy hat. That's my desktop. Ooh! This reminds me of one of my own projects, actually. This reminds me a lot of one of my own projects. My low poly volcano. Where is it? VFX. Where is it? LP volcano. There it is. This guy. They have like the same structure. Except mine just keeps repeating forever. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I like that a lot. And it looks exactly like mine. Well, not exactly like mine, but similar to mine, which is really cool. So keep working. That's awesome. That is awesome. Alright. Okay, now let's fix this dude's face. What did I weight paint incorrectly here? Weight paint. These are not supposed to be, okay. The bones aren't supposed to be moving. So this bone, your parent is body, not jaw. Your parent is body, not jaw. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so let's try and make him actually do a smile now. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Okay, GZ. GZ. Oh man, this is so rough. It's such an awkward smile. I need to redo the weighting for that and make this more powerful. So he can kind of smile. A little bit. Oh, it looks just. Oh, I can't make him smile. I can make him frown, I think. Alt GLR. Unless this is a smile. Just give him like beautiful high cheekbones. Here, let's try this. GZ with both of these. We can give him one of these smiles. Just like that. It was beautiful. This project is inspired by the Daily Dweebs, actually. That's where I kind of took the stylization from initially. It's funny that you said that. I didn't think I actually nailed it close enough for it to be recognizable, but apparently I did. So look at a reference. I could look at a reference, but the issue is the rigging, not the thing I'm trying to create. But yeah, there you go. So there he is. So I can actually give him quite a few expressions here. See if I can give him a surprise. This one's gonna be rougher because he's got such a big mouth. No. Select just the bones. Okay. Okay, yeah, the surprise doesn't really work that well. But I can definitely give him some interesting expressions. Well, he needs eyebrows. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give him eyebrows. I don't know how to go about eyebrows though. So yeah, we'll see. The tail works though, right? I think I got the tail working. Uh-oh, the tail's not working. Why isn't the tail working? Oh, right, because it's not. This shouldn't be weighted to that. Why is this weighted to that? Subtract. There we go. Did I weight these incorrectly? Oh, I did. Dang it. Okay. So it's this bone that we want weighting. There we go. So now that works. Correct? Yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. That makes things a lot easier. And then this should be his body. All right, and I need to parent his eyes to the bones. Control P, bone. Okay, that doesn't work because I have the mirror modifier enabled. Let's first apply the mirror modifier, and now, there we go. Okay, cool. So, I think I might end the stream here actually, because I'm really tired and my throat is on fire. So, yeah, here he is. Let's do one final render of the cutie himself. I definitely made him look a lot actually cuter. Oh, you emailed render. Okay, I'll render this and then I'll go through the emails one last time. There we go. Cool. He definitely looks a lot cuter than he used to. Still gonna be a work in progress, but he's getting there. And his file name is still Chameleon, even though it's just not a chameleon anymore. Okay. And then, ooh. Wait. Oh, hey, I'm watching your stream right now. I noticed. This is cool. I like this a lot. I like this. You composed this really well. I love that you have an object to focus on in the middle of the lake, right? Not just that, but there's a space around it separating it from other objects so it really stands out, right? I love the trees that you used. I don't know what you did with the trees, but they look really nice, right? A few things I would change though is, for one, it looks like you actually used the rule of thirds vertically with this by lining the tree up with the right third over here. But the one thing I would do is either make the sky take up 2/3 of the image or make the ground take up 2/3 of the image. It looks like you kind of did that here, where the top of this peak is kind of at the 2/3 line. But I definitely see if you could get more ground in the image just as a composition rule. And then another thing I do is somehow filter out the noisiness of this tree, because that looks a little bit wonky. And then also the background, although it looks nice, and although it looks cool, but it doesn't seem to fit the scene. I'm not sure why that is, though. I'd have to think about it. It looks like there should be some sort of horizon diffusion or something. Because a lot of horizons will often, because they have to go, if you look like straight across the horizon of a spherical object, right, considering it has an atmosphere, the light will have to pass through more things, I guess. More atmosphere in order to get to you, so it kind of diffuses and it becomes darker, and it also gains a tint. So maybe if you added some sort of atmospheric diffusion going up into it, it would look a little bit more natural. But really, actually, another thing you could do with this is add some sort of atmospheric occlusion. I don't know if you know what atmospheric occlusion is. Atmospheric occlusion. I think is what it's called. So basically what atmospheric occlusion is things getting fainter as they go into the distance. So with this, I guess, like this, for example, you can see that up close things are very in focus, but as they get further in the distance, they become foggier and foggier. And that's something you could do with this as well. But other than that, I really like this render. It's really cool. Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. I really love the white trees. It's familiar but different, and that's what I really like about it. The trees look like morning, but the sky midnight. That's another thing. Can you look at the Discord work in progress, please? Yeah, sure. 1 second. Discord. Work in progress critique. Wait. Discord. Where'd you send it at? Unless this is it. Oh wait, can I get some? Are you B-Cake in here? The last one? Okay. So, that's actually really cool. I like that. Here, you linked it to something. Hold up. Links are spoopy. Oh dang. Oh, wow, okay. First time making the character walk. That's cool. I like the... Is that a mechanical rigging system you used? Because that looks really interesting. Second time definitely looks smoother. Third time looks even smoother. That's cool. I like how it looks like you did some sort of mechanical rigging, and mechanical rigging is really complicated in my experience, but that's nice. I like that. So yeah, keep up the work with that. I really like that. And I like this image as well that you posted. Wait, so work in progress for a character with the style Animal Crossing. Yeah, that's neat. So yeah, keep up the good work. My Discord is so white. I like white Discord. Everybody likes the night mode, but I like white. I have my Twitter in light mode too, and YouTube and all that stuff. Like Twitter and YouTube. So many people have them in dark mode or whatever. I guess actually Twitter, I don't know if they have a dark mode for PC. Oh yeah, see, night mode. I just don't dig that. It needs to be light out. But anyway, excuse me. I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream here because my throat is going to death me pretty quick here. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you all for tuning in. I definitely actually learned quite a bit from this live stream, and I got a lot of stuff done. I like how it started out as classified projects and ended up with me working on our Stegosaurus. You can tell how tired I am right now. Stegosaurus. That works. Stegosaurus named Chameleon. But anyway, again, thank you all for tuning in. You guys are all awesome, and I'll see you in my next video or my next stream. Adios. And now is the time when I try and figure out how to turn off a live stream.